Wait, you didn't introduce us.
We're good?
Is that
We're
the intro?
live? We're gonna do the intro, boys. Just give one quick second.
The floor is all yours.
Okay.
All right, everyone. Welcome back to the Community Roundtable here in Gumdolph Entertainment. My name is Wild Pop Roach, joined always by our gracious host, Gumdolph the Gray. What is up, Vinny?
Not much, dude. How are you?
Oh, not bad, not bad. Well, the folks at home have already heard of it. Should be a good show tonight. But joined with us in the booth tonight, we have the Saucy Boys. We have Michael, Adam, and Alex. What's going on, gentlemen?
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome. Thanks for having us, boys.
Are you
I'm
guys
glad to be
ready to
here.
get banned? Are you ready to get demonetized?
I'm already
Please.
demonetized. What are you talking
Banning
about?
this. Come
Subscriber?
on.
Well,
Have you
they
ever
don't
had
call
negative money before,
this-
Vinny?
Huh?
They don't
Have you ever
call
had
the
negative money
Saucy
before?
Boys
That's where
for
we're going to end up by the end of the night.
I don't know,
Negative
man.
money?
Cole,
It's
Cole,
real life. Been doing
Cole
it.
couldn't-
What are you talking about?
Vinny, have you ever had the cops called on you for the content of your stream?
almost.
Well, we're
Well,
gonna
we're
make
gonna make it
that
happen again.
definitely.
You guys are here. You guys are here to make a memorable episode here in the Community Roundtable. Before we get into talking tonight and chatting and getting to know you guys a little bit better, going to take a quick moment to thank our sponsors here. So first and foremost, got Microgame Play and Trade, the shop, located in Clay,
that a
New
real
York.
place?
Microgame Play
Love
and
that
Trade is
place.
located on Route 31 in Clay, New York. They have all sorts of retro video games, all sorts of collectibles, and a lot of the new stuff as well. So if you're looking to scratch that nostalgia itch, put something cool up on your shelf, play some of the new games, or just talk to some cool people like myself, Vinny, or the Saucy Boys here, stop on down to Microgame Play and Trade. And I've also, if you guys were listening as we were just starting out here, if you were listening to some of the tunes here, the tunes were sponsored by none other than the Godfather of the FGC, DJ Silence, aka Kenyon, putting on some of the greatest beats we've ever heard on the channel. So we thank him for the sponsorship for the Community Roundtable. So Vinny, there's the intro. We've already introed our guests tonight.
Yep.
I guess let's get into it. What do you guys want to talk about?
Is that macro game? Is that a real place? Is that new?
Yeah, I've never heard of that before. They got
You
a
guys
copy
have-
of
Listen.
Fire Emblem Radiant Dawn.
They're across the
Do
parking
they
lot.
have really large games there?
They're fake.
Oh.
They make fake games.
No.
Never trust
Are
I
the
know
many.
games
games.
so big you can't fit them through the door?
Yeah.
They sell a lot of mobile games.
Yeah,
I don't know
they're
if you guys have ever
douchebags.
played any of those.
I
Did you
heard they
guys
actually
sell
only sell
V-Bucks?
Gashapon.
They only sell Honkai Star Rail tickets.
Please. All right, I'll
Oh,
be
I knew
in
you were
next
gonna
week.
say that. All right. So
Vinny,
we have.
Vinny, I've got a question.
Oh, we already have a question from at what? What do you want? What's
All
up?
right. If you could choose 5 liquids to come out of your fingers, what would they be?
Ooh.
It's a good question.
Gatorade. Gatorade. Specifically, I'm gonna go yellow Gatorade.
Okay.
The lemon lime flavor. I'm gonna go. Maybe a Dr. Pepper.
Ooh, okay.
Okay.
That'd be a pretty good
Wrong
one.
choice. Wrong choice.
I think you got to do water. I think water's got to be one of them.
Okay.
Could have a lot of different, utility to that. Obviously stay hydrated if you're getting bored of the electrolyte flavored Gatorade there. But you could do some cool party tricks.
Sure.
Put water into your dog's bowl or something. What's that? That 3?
Yes, 3.
It's 3.
I feel like I'd probably stay away from anything I drink in excessive. So like I'd stay away from beer because like think about how weird it would be if like just somebody just saw you like sucking your thumb for hours on end. You're like, what the hell's he doing? Oh, he just got Keystone Light coming out of his thumb.
Rapidly getting more and more fucked up. You're like,
Exactly.
focus on that guy's thumb.
Yeah, exactly. It's got to be a liquid.
Yep.
Oh, probably like a hot sauce. I feel like a hot sauce would be pretty good. That's like
Now,
a
you're
liquid.
going in a completely different route than I did. Like, I've thought about this extensively.
All right, hold on.
Mhm.
So now we got a hot sauce.
I was pitched the question earlier tonight, and I brainstormed.
Yeah. What? I mean, all right. So there's 4 of mine. What would you do?
All right, mine in order of from thumb to pinky. It goes water,
Okay. All right.
vodka. Vodka's
All right.
purely for entertainment.
Okay.
But water, vodka, Soylent for sustenance, crude oil,
Okay.
Yep. No, that's right. That's what I was gonna say.
Crude oil for like money, and well, that's it, money. It's a
Stick your finger in your
valuable
car.
liquid.
I guess you can't put
Yeah.
crude oil in your car, but
No, you can't, but it can be refined into gasoline, petroleum products like Vaseline or chapstick.
Okay,
Petroleum
alright.
goes into so many things.
Why am I like not surprised by that answer?
This is
no,
a
but
great
like,
question.
okay. So
Well,
here's
that's
the
not
thing.
even the
Though.
last
Was
one,
it?
Vinny.
Yeah, I
Does
don't.
it come
What's the
out?
last one?
That's not even the last one. We need to hear this.
All right.
O negative blood.
That's actually really smart. Yeah. No, that's genius.
Yeah,
Okay.
Because you always have a free donation source.
we got
Yeah.
sustainability as well as money and fun.
Like a superpower right there. Where,
Right.
what
Like,
finger would
unlimited.
the vodka be on?
What's that?
What finger would the vodka be on?
That's my pointer finger.
Oh, it's a great finger to have it on.
Yep.
You're sitting there at a bar or something like that, trying to press a lady, and sit there. Just let me refill that shot for you. Bat. Right there, pointer finger.
Yep.
Although, may I also suggest the pinky for fancy reasons?
Mhm.
Yeah,
God, I'm
that would
thinking
make
now.
sense.
My five would be Diet Cherry Coke, Diet Cherry Coke, Diet Cherry Coke, Diet Cherry Coke, and urine so I could spray people I don't like.
Genius.
Okay,
All right.
It's unrivaled.
we like Diet Cherry Coke. He's just sitting there sucking on 4 of his fingers. Just
See, but
Trying to
The
stay
other
away
one's
from
pointed
the
liquid,
outwards.
does the liquid come out? So if it comes out at a specific temperature, right? Does that liquid touch your finger as it's coming out? See what I'm saying?
Okay, I know where you're going with this,
Okay.
and I'm
all right.
going to say no, because I thought about this as well.
Yeah.
Things like liquid nitrogen,
I
liquid
was going to say
oxygen.
liquid nitrogen, liquid gold, because that's, I feel like, even more
Right.
sustainable than crude oil. And then I'm going to have,
But
obviously...
that's where I disagree with you.
All right, in what way? Like liquid gold?
Because liquid gold, sure, gold is expensive, but it can only be used for one thing: gold. But
Right.
liquid oil has so many purposes.
True,
If
but-
not for money, if you didn't want to sell it, you could use it to make petroleum products. You could use it to power your car. You could.
Okay, but hear me out. I
Oil's
don't know
not
how to
a-
personally refine gasoline, and I don't know how to make Vaseline from crude oil. I would need so
Oh, I
many
do.
more
It's easy.
things that I could personally buy or pay somebody to do for me if I could spew gold out of my hand. Gold
Yeah,
is
Well, you
always
could
going to
just-
be worth something.
You could just
Crude oil is not
say,
necessarily unless you have a refinery.
you could always just go up to somebody and say, "Here, taste my finger," and then spray crude oil in their mouth.
Okay, but
That
that's my
is
other
true.
question. With what pressure does the liquid come out? Because if it's just going to
Yeah.
dribble, that's pretend. Like if I'm dribbling
No,
liquid
we're
nitrogen
talking
on
about
my hand, I'm gonna freeze.
we got control over this.
yeah.
We can spray it like a super
Ooh.
soaker, like a fire hydrant.
I can fucking blast people with O negative blood. I will
Oh, yeah.
douse you in Soylent.
See, I was gonna say one of my fingers would be Astroglide because then I would never have to buy that again, and that would be hilarious to just spray people. You could use that as an oil slick while you're driving, like
Ooh, that is
same thing as
true.
crude oil, but it skips the refining process.
That's true. That's true.
See?
That's true. That's true.
Like Coke Zero, obviously for the.
Hold on,
horse-
I want to hear Vinny's. What is Vinny's?
Yeah, please.
That's
Vin.
obviously meat sauce, Mountain Dew,
The
Liquid
fuck do you
spaghetti.
think I am?
hot sauce.
Uh,
You're the meatball
Sauce? Yeah,
master.
hot sauce sounds
the
good. Five different
Tears of his
flavors hot
enemies.
sauce for each finger.
water. Thumb water. I kind of like the tears
Somewhere
of
around there
my. I
has
like
to
the
be-
tears of my enemies idea.
I
Okay.
do.
Somewhere around there has to be the liquid form of all the bad games you've sold me.
Oh, we're gonna get into that conversation later.
No.
Please, please.
We're gonna talk about favorite games.
Okay.
But water. I kind of agree. Diet Cherry Coke.
Yeah.
I love Diet Cherry Coke. I love just
Good
Cherry
one.
Coke in general.
Well, hear me out, Vinny. We do have VTubers listed on.
I put them
scheduled
up there
topics,
just
so
in
instead of-
case they got brought up. Okay, they
Hey, going along the same strain of logic, instead of water, water's boring. There's no real benefits to it. You don't really need it to survive. But what if instead of regular water, one of your fingers shot out Gamer Girl bath water? Then you wouldn't have to pay for it like we normally do.
Well,
Yeah,
see,
yeah, you didn't think about that one.
you
And
you
you
say
can
you
catch
pay
all the
for it.
diseases you want.
You
Think
pay
about
for
girl
it.
ballet.
that though, huh?
I
It is
watch
lucrative.
I watch people pay for it and laugh from afar. And
But
then I
don't
call
have
you
to pay for it,
idiots
Vinny,
and move
'cause
on
It
with
comes
my
out of
day.
my hands now.
Water, Diet
This
Cherry
is
Coke.
So much money.
This guy has the big brain moves.
Yeah, I got you.
Middle finger would be piss.
Oh yeah.
Um,
Oh yeah.
Wait,
His fingers.
why?
Let's go.
Why would you want? Why? Just so you could like piss on people?
so I can
No,
stick my middle
I-
finger up, and not only am I saying "fuck you," I can point it at you. Piss
That
on
I
you.
will say, piss is a pretty solid option. Like
Yeah.
Well,
if
it's a
you think
liquid
about it,
option.
And then
it's like
I agree with
how
Adam.
many times have you been?
The oil. The oil would be my fourth finger. I like the oil idea.
Yep.
And as for my pinky, red wine.
Interesting.
Oh,
Which red
fancy.
wine though?
Fancy
Would it
red
be
wine.
box wine?
Like
No,
some
it's
Pinot
got to
Noir,
be
or-
that like super expensive
Little,
shit
little
from
Cab
like
Sav, little Cabernet Sauvignon.
fucking
Grigio.
Germany or something. I don't drink
See,
wine.
no,
I
that's
just
a
think
good
I
idea.
just think it'd be funny.
I
'Cause
mean,
then
Vinny
you can
could
trick
bottle
people.
his own wine.
You
Then.
can trick people. They think it's blood.
Well, that's good
Ooh.
too. Yeah, I guess.
Oh yeah, you put it right in someone's vein and they
They,
get drunk.
yeah,
And you
You
say
just
this is
tap
typo
somebody-
negative.
you're welcome.
Tap somebody with a white shirt on the back, and now suddenly they're drenched in red
But
wine.
there's my answer.
You can just frame people for murder.
That sounds too familiar, Alex.
I wouldn't know anything about that.
Vinny, I got a question for you.
Yeah.
Please.
How often do you roll up into a ball like a Goron and smash rocks around the store?
There's always a first time. I that sounds like a fun idea, actually.
Bro, he's always playing Saria's song in the store. I feel like this is not too far from the truth.
Well, that's why I ask.
Maybe one
Vinny,
day.
where's the Lost Woods? Tell us where the Master Sword is.
Yeah, where is it at?
None of your business.
I don't. We know you know. We know you know.
I know.
We gotta buy enough copies of Lies of P for him to tell us.
I was gonna say Peppa Pig, but
You still have to sell Adam the new one.
I
He,
have to
he doesn't
get it.
have the Pig World Tour.
I was gonna ask you guys what's your like favorite game of all time, and if Adam didn't say Peppa Pig, I was gonna get very sad.
Please.
Oh.
Dude, I hate that game.
He's so
was
proud of the
such-
platinum. The first platinum he
I
always
am
tells
very
us about
proud
is
of
the
the
Peppa Pig
platinum.
one.
The RNG for fucking finding Daddy's glasses killed me. I had to go in and reload the area like 7 times.
He made it. The best part is we did it on stream while we were all hanging out together, and he made us sit through from start to finish 2 hours of Peppa Pig, and he got the
Oh my
platinum, and it
God.
was great. But I wanted to kill myself the entire time.
I could
never wanted
feel
to
my
die so
brain
bad.
wrinkles smoothing out by the second.
No, best game?
Your
Like,
favorite
almost-
video game?
Jeez, that's a tough one.
I thought you were gonna
Ever?
just say Elden Ring.
I think Tycho's got his
Yeah,
answer right
ever.
away.
Like
The
favorite
first one.
video
one.
game you've ever played.
My favorite video game that I've ever played ever in my life is the very original Tomb Raider from 1996, and it's getting a remaster in a month. I can't
It
wait.
is.
I'm literally going to.
We just
piss
found
my-
out that it's going to have analog controls, and you're going to be able to control the camera.
But I'm
which is
gonna
pretty
play it with the D-pad like it's meant to be.
True.
In a physical release too.
Yeah. Is it getting a North American one? Because I've only seen.
I think it's
Asian.
only like
Might play it,
Asia
yeah.
and Japan.
Oh
Yeah.
no, I'm gonna have to order 7 copies. I'm excited.
He's going to platinum it for sure. That's the next
I
platinum.
want to platinum every single one. I'm
I
gonna
feel
go
like I
crazy.
also know what Adam's favorite game is going to be because I feel like you've told me before, unless you changed it.
I don't know if I want to go nostalgic or if I want to go like in the recent games I've played.
I would be kind of surprised if it wasn't a more recent game because I feel like we both agreed it's a good game. It's not my favorite, but it's definitely like an Adam favorite.
Okay. I would say recently, like in the past like 10 or so years, Dark Souls 3.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, that's a really good game.
But
Game.
if I had to pick like an all-time favorite, like a game that like I think of where it all started and like what got me into playing video games is Ratchet and Clank Going Commando.
Oh, okay. That's a good one.
Solid game.
Mhm. Yeah.
That I saw my uncle playing that and I was like, man, what's this? And he's like, it's called a video game. and then I got a PS1 and found out that you couldn't play Ratchet and Clank on the PS1. But then I played all sorts of games for the PS1 and then got a PS2 for like my birthday that year. And I got Ratchet and Clank. It was pretty fucking sweet.
Specifically Going Commando too, right?
Yeah.
Going Commando.
Damn.
What was that? What was that in the Ratchet and Clank series? Was that second one?
That is the
First one?
second one.
Second one.
Is that the
That's
one
the
you
second.
started with, or?
No, I started with straight Ratchet and Clank.
Oh, okay.
I got Ratchet and Clank and I was like, man, what? This isn't fucking the game I played. But I played through it. And then I got Going Commando. Because the person who got me my PS2 was my dad. And he's like, yeah, we could play it together. And I remember I pissed him off real bad because my dad's a completionist.
Yeah.
So he's going through the game, getting all the gold bolts, like finding everything. And at the end, or like, we're on the second to last level, and I bought all of the gold weapons, spent all of the gold bolts. And he's like, he comes back and he's like, yeah, so where'd you get that gold weapon from? And I'm like, oh, I bought them all. And he's like, did you spend all the gold bolts? And I'm like, yeah. He's like, Adam, what the fuck did you do?
What did you do?
He didn't. I guess he didn't realize that that's the point of getting the fucking gold bolts. But whatever.
I feel like it's kind of surprising that you say the second one is better than the first one. I feel like a lot of times sequels are hit or miss. I know Michael's not a big fan of, or
Oh,
as
no.
much of a fan of Tomb Raider 2 as he is of Tomb Raider 1.
Dude, that series
No,
has
absolutely
just
not.
been excellent.
What about the
There's
the remake of the original game?
The
Like
remake, it's
from
good.
PS4?
It's a really good game.
I had
'Cause
that,
the-
but I've not played it. It looks really cool, like a good remake.
The
Wasn't that
original
like the
game
movie
is very
tie-in?
like.
That's what Michael always tells me, that was Ratchet and Clank the movie, the game, which is what apparently they were going to do
Yeah.
with Sly Cooper until they realized it was bad or ran out of money or whatever.
They even
it
had a
was.
trailer for the Sly one.
I think I saw that, yeah. Which, I mean, I'm not going to ever say no to another Sly game, but, I mean, if it was
Oh,
just
heck
going to be
yeah.
a cash grab, Listen, if it was going to be good, great. Sly 4, I thought was very bad and kind of ruined the legacy that 3 left behind. But if they brought it back for Sly 5 and made a good one, I would love it. But I don't need a cash grab.
Not another Mario port.
Please. Well, yeah, I don't know. I mean, they could port Galaxy 2. That one would not be.
No,
attempted,
I'm
I don't
saying,
think.
as far as re-releasing games, we don't want another Mario port. We want a new game.
Oh yeah. I no more of this. Like, they're just running out of ideas. They're remastering quote unquote games, but they're doing like very infrequently a good job. Like Metroid Prime is so out of the norm for a remastered game, but when you think about it, it's what an actual remastered game should be, price wise, quality wise. But that's not what we get. We get like, you know, Pikmin. We get what's the one? Metal Gear. The Metal Gear collection that just released, where they release Metal Gear Solid 1 completely untouched, 4:3 aspect ratio, 240p, and they're just like, yes, this is a $60 collection. And it's like, are you
Yeah.
sure? That's kind
Right,
of
that's what-
embarrassing if
that's
I'm
what I'm
Konami.
saying.
It's the
I don't
same
know.
collection they released on the PS3 too. And like with less games in it.
No, I think in some respects it's worse, because I feel like I was watching a video and like some of the textures in even like Metal Gear 3 and 4 are not as clear. Like, I mean, obviously it's probably fine on PS5, but on Switch I think it's a little bit worse than it was on PS3. And it's like, if you're releasing this for the next generation, it needs to be standard across the board, and it needs to be like the same quality or better as previous releases, I think.
Yeah, I don't know. As far as Ratchet and Clank goes, I think the series has been excellent. They've had a few games that were very gimmicky for like introducing different features of the PlayStations, but I mean, like All for One, that was fucking dumb game. I didn't buy it. But as far as like all the rest of the games go, fuck me. I bought every single one, played every single one.
There was the Ratchet and Clank game that came free on the PS5. Not the newest one, but it was like one of the free, like, I think there was like 15 games that came with it, and it was a PS4 Ratchet and Clank, and that one I played for the first time when I was on PS5, and it kind of reignited my love for that series.
Oh yeah,
It was just so fun. And then I have yet to play the newest one, but what are your thoughts on the newest one?
the newest one I platinumed so fast that I forgot I platinumed it. Like,
You just blacked out,
For-
woke up, and was like, "What happened here?" Oh, I got
well, yeah,
the
no, for a while we were only platinuming games that we really like, but now we're competing for platinums. So
Yeah.
so
This guy's
we're
doing
going through my
shovelware
platinum
platinum.
list, and I was like, man, where did I get all these platinums from? And I scroll down, and Alex is like, did you platinum Into the Nexus? And I was like, I don't think so. And I scroll down, sure enough, there it is, 100% trophies.
Isn't that
Yeah,
Rift Apart?
it's the same thing with God of War too. Like I think we keep forgetting we platinum that game when it like came out.
Oh yeah.
Both
It's
are
getting lost in the churro mayonnaise game platinums where you just press X. He's proud of these ones. Maybe.
Yeah.
He's just like,
No,
yeah,
no,
I am the
I'm not
master
proud of those.
pressing
I'm
the
only
X.
proud of Mayo.
He has the brain of a fetal alcohol syndrome baby because he thinks that's a good thing.
No, I'm only proud of the Mayo one.
Okay.
Why are you proud of managing?
Vinny, have you ever played I Am Mayo?
I played all of them.
Oh my god, really?
I platinumed
Dude.
every single one of them.
Yeah, it's everybody's like, oh yes, you just click it. I'm like, I had to click that thing 10,000 fucking times.
Oh my
No, okay, now in our defense, he platinumed this game and 2 other shovelware platinums in the span of an hour. So pressing it 10,000 times must not have been that bad.
Yeah.
No, it's not that bad.
He brags about it. He thinks it's cool.
I don't. Oh my god. Anyways,
Yeah.
what's fuck you, Vinny? What's your favorite video game?
Chrono
Yeah,
Trigger.
Vinny, what's your favorite game? Chrono Trigger. That's a good one. That's actually a really good one.
I played
Next
that
time,
game.
pick a real game, Vinny.
Yeah,
I never heard of that game.
What
Yeah,
did you
you're
think
right.
of
I'm
the
old.
PC port?
I didn't play the
What
PC
did you
port or
think?
anything like that. I just played
Yeah.
the Super Nintendo game.
Okay.
Really?
Rick,
That's
what's your
a-
favorite?
Yeah, Rick, what's your
How
favorite?
much did it cost you?
Oh my favorite.
As a kid, nothing. I got it for a present, and then I played the hell out of it.
Nice.
Oh man, I don't know. This is tough. Like games that I consistently go back to and like want to play over and over again. I don't know, man.
We're
Like the
talking,
first, the Jack and Daxter series was pretty great for me. Like growing up, I have a lot of fond memories of that.
Yep.
Yeah. I don't know. I go back to playing Jack 1 quite often. I'll
But
say
if you
that.
could only have one game for the rest of your life, would it be Jack and Dexter?
No, you guys can call me basic if you want, but I'd probably go with Skyrim. There's so much shit to do in that game.
Oh yeah,
That's
Skyrim
not
is a
bad
classic.
choice.
Not a
Yeah,
bad response.
good one.
I mean, there's so much to do in that game. I feel like you could have all sorts of different builds, and I dumped a ton of hours into that game too. So
I did play a lot of Skyrim.
I've actually never played Skyrim. I think I own it on PS3. I bought it from you last summer, but I've never actually played it.
fun game. You literally can
Yeah, it's good.
do whatever build you want. I'm a big fan of like the Conjurer builds. So like just like going in with like no weapon and then like conjuring weapons, conjuring animals and shit to like fight for you.
Yeah, there's so many different ways to play that game.
The only
New
thing I've ever
mods?
seen about that game is that you can like jump up mountains, and I assume that's not intended.
No, that's intended.
Okay,
No,
alright, yeah,
absolutely.
that's what I wanted. The way Miyazaki intended them to play it.
Absolutely. Miyazaki made Skyrim.
I feel like Bloodborne's probably another like close second for me though. Like I play
Bloodborne's
Bloodborne
amazing.
That's
all
that's
the time.
Bloodborne is a very good game. And
We
we
all
played
have
it as
Bloodborne.
Miyazaki intended.
Yeah, we
Bloodborne
did.
is the best Souls game I've played.
Oh, agreed, 100%. I actually just helped a friend through his first playthrough of Bloodborne. He never played it, and
Well,
I think his first excursion into Souls games was Elden Ring. And I told him, I was like, dude, you should play Bloodborne. It's a fun game. And he started off at first. It was like, man, this is just so different and like weird. But then he ended up saying this was the best Souls game. It was his favorite one. I was like, see?
Yeah,
that's one of our...
Michael's opinion of Souls games isn't valid because he hasn't finished the Dark Souls 3 DLC.
He also hasn't played Elden Ring, which is the only one that matters.
Well,
He's got to roll the D20, that's what I told him.
He has literally no basis of knowledge when it comes to Souls games.
One of the best parts about Souls games, that games like Lies of P were missing, is summoning the goons. We got a friend right now who is
that's true.
going back to Bloodborne. Anthony, I don't know if he's actually going to finish it, but he wants to platinum it. And he said that he is excited to summon the goons. There is nothing better than getting stuck on day 1 Radahn before they nerfed him, having no idea how to even approach him. And then you summon your boys. He comes in with 2 giant great swords, 1 in each hand, completely naked, and then solos Radahn for you.
Yeah. Oh my god. It was game changing. Like summoning the goons. I want to say Elden Ring was the start of summoning the goons.
Yeah, I think so.
And it was just me, you, and Aaron.
Yep.
And we'd call each other up, be like, "Hey, you guys trying to summon the goons?"
There were times when I was like getting into bed, like midnight, 1 in the morning, and I was like, all right, it's time to get some rest. I got work in the morning. And then I get a call from the boys saying they need help fighting Estelle, the Dark Void. And I was like, well, when the goons call, we answer.
You gotta answer.
Facts.
You gotta answer.
can't leave your boys hanging.
I've platinumed that game and played through it like 3 more extra times. I think I beat Radahn once and Renala 0 times because the goons did all the work for me.
Facts. I was so embarrassed for him when he couldn't beat Renala, because she's one of the bosses that if you use a greatsword, she will just stagger and not be able to do anything. And I was like, what are you doing, bro? You're the strength-filled king. You should be able to first try
Right.
every time.
No, I don't know. I just had so much trouble with her. And then, like, I'm like, Alex, can you please do it for me? And then he just goes in like it's no big deal. I'm like, God damn it. Thank God for the goons.
And that was one of the few bosses that was no big deal. It was. I remember when we got to the Millennia fight, I spent like, I don't know, 8 hours on my weekend trying to beat it. It was the most unfair boss. I was ready to bang my head against a brick wall. And then I go to Streamhouse on Monday, and Adam finally gets to Millennia. I was like, hey, you heard of this boss in the Howling Tree? It's a secret area. You should go there right now. And he gets there, and he beats her basically in like 3 tries. And he got like some decent RNG where she didn't do some of her worst attacks, but I was incensed. I went home immediately, and again, even though I was supposed to work the next day, I was like, I'm gonna stay up and beat this boss, because if my friend Adam can do it, I can do it too.
Yeah, it was nuts.
The feeling of competition and camaraderie those games bring just shows how well made they are. Miyazaki knew exactly what he was doing when he created his masterpiece Elden Ring.
When's that DLC supposed to drop? I know
Allegedly, I saw.
rumors.
I was gonna tell you about this, Adam. I saw like yesterday there was like a quote unquote leak that apparently is going to be coming out in February, I think.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So
February,
allegedly.
Wait, like February of this year?
I believe so. Again, it's not accurate information, but that's what I've heard. That's what people are saying.
February marks 3 years, doesn't it?
I think so, actually. It came out in like 2020, 2021, so it would be about 3 years now.
That's crazy. Yeah. I saw that too. It was either February or April, I thought I saw.
It might be April, yeah.
Steam, if you go to Steam database or whatever the fuck, they're just adding files for the DLC. And all the rest of the DLC files will say like art book, game guide, but this one, the file name is unknown.
They're doing something.
Oh,
I'm
yeah.
sure they'll. I think they put out an update too for the game that had nothing to do with the DLC, but usually when they update an older game like that, they're getting it ready for some kind of DLC to come out. So it's going to come out eventually, so it might as well be this year. Why not?
Yeah.
I heard that you need DLC gets rid of torrent and instead allows you to upload your AC.
That'd be sick.
What?
That'd be sick.
Wild. Vinny's like, instant play. We're going back. We're going back in.
Yeah, watch me fucking step on Radon.
Well, hello, Melania.
Please.
I'm back.
You fucking thought.
I ended up making a build, and I played it with Vinny quite a bit though. But it was fuck was the Leonard's armor, the big fat boy armor?
Oh yeah.
What was
the
that
fucking-
Oh, that's the armor I wear.
Yeah. So I had big fat boy armor. It was like a faith build for a period of time, but he would have the golden butt slam, right? And then I had the 2 spiked fists. So I just run up, start punching shit, and then like jump up fat boy style, and like just do this big like butt slam. Dude, it was so fun. It was such a fun way to play.
Here begins Fate's episode.
For us, it was mostly like arcane bleed builds.
Yeah, well, day one, I think I wanted to be a Faith build because I thought Faith was going to be good because I see all these like drag moves, but they ended up being terrible. And then, we switched between like Arcane and there were a couple fights we had to switch to just straight Magic builds because Magic was very
Magic
good in that
builds.
game.
We ran Star Scourge Great Swords for a while.
Yep,
Like a good
and
portion
those-
of the game.
I believe those scale partially with intelligence.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Elden Ring, yeah.
Elden Ring. Pikel's going to play that game, right, Pikel?
No, I'm a gremlin. I don't play video games. I just sit in the corner, stare at the wall.
Pikel's actually
Yeah,
the
sounds about
comic
right.
relief because he hates video games more than anyone. Pikel, tell us how much
Yeah.
you hate it.
I hate video games so much. I hate them, I hate them, I hate them.
Yeah, almost as much as he loves me too.
I got a copy of Elden Ring for Christmas and I still haven't opened it, but I do plan on opening it and playing it eventually. And when I do, I will summon the goons and smooch all of them.
Please, as you should.
Dude, Vinny, I've got a fucking silly story to tell you about Liza P.
Oh yeah.
No. Oh yeah.
I am 1 trophy away from the platinum.
Yeah. What one are you missing?
The free from the puppet string.
Nice.
So I was like, all right, free from the puppet string. I looked up every game guide I could find. Everything was saying you need low to no humanity, and then all you got to do is answer 2 questions at the end right,
Mhm.
and then tell Geppetto to fuck off.
Mhm.
And I'm like, okay, all right, easy peasy.
Fair enough.
Go through, playing the game. I have no humanity. The
Mhm.
nose on the portrait hasn't moved. Like, it's still 2-dimensional. I get to the end. I answer both questions right. I get into the arena and talk to Geppetto.
Mhm.
I don't have the option to tell him to fuck off
That's not good.
because I have no humanity, so I don't have the right to tell him no.
Huh.
So you need not no humanity, but low humanity, or else you
Huh.
can't tell Geppetto no.
Yeah.
So I
That-
played through the entire fucking game a 3rd time, only to find out that I couldn't do it.
You need to do it a 4th time.
I need to do it a
all
4th
over
time.
again.
And let me tell you, my motivation to do it a 4th time is very low.
I don't blame you.
Liza P was a shockingly good game, didn't he? All these
Oh, yeah.
Souls clones,
It's an amazing
you don't
game.
think are going to be good. It was crazy how good it was. Like, they actually put effort into it. And the next one, spoilers if you haven't beaten the game, but the last cutscene shows that the next one's going to be Wizard of Oz themed.
Yeah, I remember
Yeah,
you
it
telling
is
me
the
about
video
that.
about
Yeah. Dorothy with her red heels is the last cutscene, which is going to be interesting. I'm very curious to see what they do with that.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's cool. Lords of the Fallen, joke. I don't know. It was Lords of the Fallen is cool, interesting game, but I don't know. It lacks direction. Like, I don't know where I'm supposed to go.
I still want to play that game. I think it looks really cool.
Also, I kind of ruined it for myself, Vinny. I've been getting into a certain way to play the Souls games that
Yeah.
may not
It's
be the
optimal,
best
dude.
way.
It's optimal.
It
Yeah,
is
very
optimal,
optimal.
but at
What
the
does that
same
mean?
time, it's some people may look down on it.
Yeah. It's
He
called
didn't
not
pay to
actually
lose,
engaging with
did
the
he?
mechanics.
He didn't pay to lose.
Yeah.
I bought Souls, Vinny.
Oh, you did?
Oh my god.
Why'd you do that?
Dude, Vinny, it is for
cheap.
for $10,
What's up, Joe?
you can buy like 300 million souls
Yeah.
or like runes in Elden Ring, and like all the amulet or all the talismans that you want, and like a bunch of level 10 weapons. Like $10. How the fuck do you say no to that?
True.
Benny, I hope you-
$1 for $1 you can get like 10 million souls. You're essentially losing money by not buying the souls. You might as well do it.
Exactly.
Benny,
If
I
you
hope
value
you
your
ban this
time at all,
man from the store for life for this revelation.
I've never done it. Don't ban me.
Not allowed
Yeah,
inside my.
I mean, it is kind of cheating.
it is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
To win.
And
Listen, this is the man who played the mayonnaise video game so he could get an easy platinum. I don't think he cares about getting a couple souls for $1.
That's fair.
does this man even like video games?
Ooh.
Well,
I know I don't. I
platinumed
wanna know.
Elden Ring.
Somebody
I
speak at
platinumed
the
Elden
D20.
Ring before I got this.
That's also true. Yeah, Michael, you still don't have the Elden Ring platinum. That does invalidate your entire life.
I don't need it.
Interesting.
It's not worth having.
Very interesting.
Elden Ring is not a video game.
Vinny, I want to put you on full blast right now because I got on this other monitor right here, VTuber playing a game called Pal World, and it looks
Yeah.
like a really high definition Minecraft, but they're just beating the shit out of the
So
Pokemon.
it's Pokemon with guns.
Yes, that is exactly what I have heard, but it actually looks pretty cool. Would you recommend this game to me?
For you, yeah.
Yeah, it looks
Not
pretty
me.
cool.
It's
Well, I
called
don't know.
Pow World.
Pal World, Pal World. It's like
okay.
it looks like it's focusing way more on like the survival crafting, like Minecraft aspect, and like the Pokemon stuff is just there, which is kind of interesting.
Kind of sounds like Ark.
Yeah, that's actually what I was thinking, because it's like basically take the dinosaurs out of Ark and replace them with Pokemon, I guess, and then I assume it functions the same. But it
Yeah,
looks
so
kind of
it's
cool.
like a cute version of Ark.
Yeah, it's coming out tomorrow in early access, I guess. So that looks pretty cool.
Oh, you know what I got recently? I bought, and I'm looking forward to playing on stream with the boys.
Please come to stream. What?
Please.
What's that game by the Rick and Morty people?
High on Life.
High on Life.
Yes, High on Life. I just got.
I've been wanting to get that game just to see you play because I thought you would think it was hilarious. I'm glad you
I
finally
did.
got it.
I have not started it yet because I've been waiting.
Please, I would
Very
love
good.
to see that shit.
It's a great game.
It was pretty
The
good.
humor is really funny. The guns are just hysterical.
Did
Definitely
they,
recommend playing through it.
Is Justin Roiland still the voice of that character, or did they patch him out?
I think they patched. Oh no, I think he's still there.
No, he's
Okay.
probably still in there.
Yeah, good. Because I don't know, they were getting mad at him for whatever for a while, so I didn't know if they were
Yeah, but he
gonna
got acquitted.
change his voice. He did. Well, that's the thing. Is it like if you are canceled, you're canceled forever, regardless of whether or not there's enough evidence to justify it.
Which is why we're gonna
kinda
take
like
down
what
this
happened with
stream.
Johnny Depp. That's like one of the things that I rage about is the fact that like during the Johnny Depp trial he got canceled from all of his roles, and then the Johnny Depp trial ended with Amber Heard actually being the abuser,
Right.
and
Exactly.
she got to keep her roles.
Bro, normal people who have access to the internet just think that they are smart enough to be judge, jury, and executioner, despite the fact that there are people who actually, spent years of their life learning how to do that correctly. So obviously there's people out there making the wrong judgments based off of minimal observations and circumstantial evidence.
Hey.
So when you take it to court and people actually do their job, you find out the truth is actually different than what, you thought from the very small pool of information you have available.
Dude, court
Well, if
isn't
you're-
even
if
where it
you're-
ends.
If you're a rando on the internet and you say an opinion, that means you're.
Fact, if you're
Court
a rando
isn't
on the
even where
internet
it
and you
is.
have an opinion, you just have too much time. You don't have an opinion, you just have too much time.
You remember when Mike Jonkis tried to tell us that doctors were useless because the
Bro, but
internet
that's
exists?
such a common opinion. I hear that all the time now. People are always just like, well, I know more than my doctor. It's like, no, you don't. You think you do, but you do not, I promise you.
Benny, what's the next question?
If anyone wants to hit us with VTubers. We move
Oh,
away.
okay, VTubers.
No, forget. Well, I mean, I'll tie this back into VTubers. Don't you worry. But Vinny, I saw a movie in 4DX yesterday. Do you know what 4DX is, Vinny?
No.
So it's like so essentially it's regular IMAX, which is really cool. You know, the movie looks great, but they do this thing where the seats move and they have all of these effects in the theaters to make it feel like it's like a theme park ride. So like for example, when there was like a windy scene, they were outside or like a fight was happening, they'd have these giant fans blowing a breeze across you. When like
that's like Bug's Life at Disney.
Yeah. It's meant to be like that, like a theme park ride. They had like the what do you call them? The things from the ceiling dropping like water on you when it was like raining, not like a ton so you were drenched, but enough to give you the effect. They had smoke blowing up from the stage. They had like these things in the back of your chair when like somebody would get like punched. They have like a little like thing that would like vibrate or like slap you a little bit. Not enough to hurt you because I think that's like a legal thing, but it would like give you the feeling of like getting some kind of sensation. It was pretty wacky, but there was this one scene because it was an anime movie where they had some fan service, and I was like, you know, they should have just drenched us with the fire hydrant in that scene. Give me the salt paste. That's what I want, please. Just like it's a real life eater.
No comment.
I wanted to punctuate that with silence. But the point of that story, Vinny, besides making VTubers real, I'm gonna get you to do that someday. Is 40X movies pretty cool?
Yeah.
Maybe one day.
All right, now on to VTubers and why they should be banned from the internet, banned from the world, and banned for all time.
Because they have no
Vinny
feet.
doesn't have that. Vinny, well, that's not true. First of all, Vinny does not believe that either. Because Vinny, what's coming into the store for merch? Plug the Gashapon, Vinny. Come on.
Oh, the VTuber crap that I know nothing
sir,
about?
Yes, sir. If you were, I don't know anything about it either, Vinny.
Oh,
Vinny,
Rob, man.
If you guys out there listening are cultured, come to Micro Game. We're gonna have non-stop VTuber merch. Video games are going in the trash. We are just selling merchandise.
What kind of VTuber stuff are you guys gonna have?
What kind of VTuber stuff are you guys gonna have, Vinny? Come on, it's a chance to plug the store.
Which section of the store
I don't know shit about VTubers. It's just like keychains. Stuff that you're gonna put money into my machines to get.
I have already taken out a mortgage against my house, Vinny. Don't you worry. I will purchase
Alex has promised me that this year he's gonna get a VTuber tattoo on his forehead.
I would love to see that personally. Please do.
on my forehead.
We have a contractual agreement. He signed it.
That would have to be like a really
legally
expensive tattoo, because I would not half-ass it. I would go full color, like full like gigantic tattoo that takes up my entire body. Like that would not be a cheap purchase. Adam just got a new tattoo recently. What was your new tattoo? It was a pretty cool one, wasn't it?
Yeah, I got Marceline the Vampire Queen's axe base.
Yeah. You guys Adventure Time fans?
A little bit.
It was pretty cool. It's a nice little tattoo he got there. And Marceline's probably one of the better characters, so how did you settle on the base, actually? I don't think you told me why you settled on that specifically.
Because actually it was a gift for my birthday. So
okay.
Becky Bex paid for it, and we both love Adventure Time. We've watched it together several times, and like we still continue to watch like clips of it, and like every once in a while we'll need something to watch, so we'll put on Adventure Time. And her favorite character is Marceline. So in honor of her paying for this tattoo, I was like, let's get something that means something to both of us, but also doesn't. It's not me getting a fucking tattoo of her name. You know what I'm saying? Like,
right? Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
It's like I also enjoy this character and this show. So I was like, seems like an obvious choice. But I'm not gonna get like Marceline tattooed on me, but
Right.
Backspace is like vague enough, but also cool enough that it's like If you ask about it, I'll tell you about it. But if you're just looking, it's still a cool tattoo.
That's
One of
fair.
my favorite like side characters or like alternate characters from that show is when they were doing like the Candy side arc, and Marceline the Vampire Queen became Marshmalline the Campfire Queen. I was
Oh my
laughing on
god,
the
that's
floor for
fucking
hours, dude.
hilarious.
That was so good. That lives rent free in my mind. I was like, whoever was writing this script was cooking. That's genius. I hope they got promoted. I hope they're now CEO of Cartoon Network. That was the
Dude,
funniest.
Marshmalline, the campfire queen, is hilarious. The scene, or the, I also saw the scene recently where they're in front of the door where you have to sing, and like
Oh yeah.
Marceline, dude, Marceline is like pouring her heart out over the fact that Princess Bubblegum like doesn't pay attention to her anymore.
Yup.
And it is probably the most amazing piece of like music ever made for that show. Whoever was in charge of like the Marceline character, my god, genius.
That show in general was so genius because it started off as just like, oh, this is just a funny cartoon kid show. You guys like this, but it was aimed at like people who were like preteens turning into teenagers. But then, as they kind of went on with the show and fleshed out its lore, and as the fan base started to age, they were just like, hey, what if we didn't do the Pokemon thing and pretended like you guys were still 10? What if we gave this show like a satisfying evolution so it actually has some depth to it and actually makes you question your existential
Existed.
beliefs? Yeah, your existence. Like the episode where he is after he meets his dad and loses his arm, and he's climbing into the tower, building a tower with one single arm into the sky, and then he gets there and he thinks he finds his dad and beats the shit out of him, and then the lights go up and it's Princess Bubblegum, and she's got a black eye, and she just looks at him and says, "Feeling better now, buddy?" And I was like, bro,
Oh
that's
my god,
amazing.
I was in tears. I was
I
like,
don't think I'll ever
what
be the
the
same.
fuck?
That show became adult, like genius. That was like one of the few like I don't know big risk I think Cartoon Network took because they were just like, what if we made a show but it was not for kids?
That's kind of like how regular show was, or
Yeah,
it regular show wasn't as serious, but it had like lots of concepts in it that were like edgy,
meant
and
for an older audience.
if you knew what they were going for, it was like,
It was a show for stoners, not for kids.
yeah,
Yeah, yeah. And I mean, JG Quintel originally wanted to make something that was for adults, like kind of like a Family Guy or South Park type of show. But then I think it got knocked down by whatever network he pitched it to. So he kind of
yeah, it was a
down.
acid trip show with the
Yeah.
same characters, but the pilot was pitched to Adult Swim, and Adult Swim
Oh,
didn't
okay.
pick it up, and Cartoon Network was like, oh, but Adult Swim and Cartoon Network are the same network, but two different sides. They were like, we like the idea, but what if you made it kid friendly, but like also aimed it at adults? And they were like, yeah, we'll take it. So they made what is regular show today, and you can tell it's like not for kids because of the concepts such as how Benson gets a hot wing addiction, and like every time he eats too much hot wings, he's like fucking drunk off his ass.
Yep. Like the same thing. They did the same type of thing where like Mordecai and Rigby are always getting like soda and having pizza parties, and they're making it seem like they're hungover the next day, even though they didn't
Yeah.
actually do anything.
Oh yeah.
That's yeah, that was a completely different, and it's so funny because that came off of the era of like Cartoon Network. I think they must have changed like CEOs or something, but there was like an era where they were just like, oh yeah, we're Cartoon Network, but we make reality shows now, and everybody was like, that is the dumbest thing I've ever heard. Why would you do that? And then whatever happened, they got their shit together and started making these shows. So it's kind of like Nintendo in that respect, where like they put out the Wii U, which was a god awful console, and then they completely turned it around by putting out the Switch, which completely redeemed them and was a massive success.
Well, yeah, I think at around the same time, Adventure Time and regular show came out. Destroy Build Destroy came out, and
Yeah,
so did
I'm pretty sure. Yeah,
Dude What Would Happen, and
bro.
both of those lasted like 10 episodes, and then they were like, yeah, we're only going to continue a regular show in Adventure Time.
Yeah,
I think Amazing World of Gumball came out at the same time, which
Yeah,
is
that was
another
another
show
good
that
one.
like I don't personally enjoy the show, but
Same.
it's just a similar way where they like explore concepts that like kids wouldn't understand, but if you happen to be there while your kid was watching it, you'd be like, wait a minute, what the fuck? Like talking about taxes and shit.
Yeah.
And like political correctness. Like there's one episode where Gumball becomes a social justice warrior and he goes around like beating the shit out of people and like nobody can touch him because he's fighting for social justice.
These are all like, so I've seen episodes of these shows, but I've never like fully watched the whole series and whatnot. And the fact that you guys are telling me like all these things are actually happening, I'm gonna go watch them.
Yeah.
Bro, it's
yeah.
it's like one of those things where like I was watching it in college just as like I got nothing better to do, so I'll start watching Adventure Time. And then I get like halfway through and I was like, wait a minute, this ties into the thing that actually happened like 2 seasons ago. This is actually like developing into like a plot. Like it's one of those things that you think it's just gonna be a time waster, and then it just develops into something you become invested in. Crazy.
I saw a clip of Gumball recently where they're in like a grocery store and some chick is trying to like hit on Gumball's dad, and he says to the chick says to the dad while the mom is standing there, what is a guy like you doing with a girl like her? And he stops her and he's like, shh, don't tell her. I don't think she knows that she can do better than me.
That's funny. Yeah, I've seen like random clips of Gumball like that where like, it's actually hilarious, but I never actually got into the show.
Yeah. Like I couldn't get myself to like sit down and watch Gumball just because like I don't know. I like a show with a plot. Adventure Time had
Right.
it.
Yep.
Regular show was good enough with like the wacky shit they did that I was like, yeah, I'll watch this.
The
Gumball.
last 2 seasons of regular show had a plot.
Yeah, that's true.
And it had a really good ending too.
Yeah.
That's like the other thing is that like if you look back at some of these older cartoons that like I don't know, you get attached to, but they didn't really have like a satisfying ending. Like Teen Titans is always a big one because it just got canceled, so it never had
Yeah.
an ending that actually felt satisfying.
Yeah.
It ended at a point where they looked like they were about to set up another major plot point, like a character comes back to life essentially, and then it just ends, and there was never a new episode. And I was like, well, what happened? That's the worst place to cancel this.
Dude, and then they're like, oh, and now Teen Titans Go is coming out. And you're like, fucking finally. It comes out and it's just fucking bullshit.
It's an insult to the original show.
Exactly.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah.
And then every other Teen Titans like show, whether it's live action, cartoon, like anything that comes out after the original series is like it's not a continuation of that original series. It's just them doing fucking random shit and you're like, I want to know what happens with Beast Boy's love life.
Facts. I think the one other cartoon show that like didn't necessarily originally have an actual ending, but that eventually they gave it the respect it deserved was Ed, Edd n Eddy, because like Ed, Edd n Eddy was another one of those shows that like it didn't really have a plot, so it didn't really matter. But like towards the end, they just kind of like ended it, which made sense. It was just like a situational show. But then they went back and they made a movie, and they were just like, okay, this movie ends with like Eddie meets his brother, the guy who was talking about in like every episode, the one recurring like joke, plot point, whatever. Turns out he's an asshole. He redeems himself in the eyes of all the people in the cul-de-sac, and then people love the Ed boys and they hate Johnny now. It was like that is a satisfying ending. I felt like, all right, I don't need any more Ed and Eddie now. I don't need you to ever reboot this again.
Yeah.
I loved Ed, Edd n Eddy.
I don't know, it was great.
I never got into it.
What?
Yeah.
What?
Couldn't. Well, I
What?
also wasn't allowed to watch Ed, Edd n Eddy.
Oh,
Oh yeah.
one of those shows you thought was satanic?
No.
No.
It was like one of those shows that my parents thought was like,
Yeah. No. It's the same with me. My mom said I couldn't watch Ed, Edd n Eddy, and Cow and Chicken was another one. I wasn't allowed.
I
Yep,
fucking
yeah,
loved
me
Cow
too.
and Chicken, man.
Cow and Chicken. I wasn't.
Cow
allowed
and
to watch
Chicken, the
it.
big red guy.
Ren and Stimpy was
I fucking
was
loved Ren and
somehow
Stimpy,
okay.
too.
You remember when they rebooted Ren and Stimpy on
Yeah.
like TV or some shit like that?
It wasn't like terrible.
Dude, it was super adult from what I remember.
It was, but I still liked it.
Yeah.
That's nostalgia talking for you, though.
We were talking about Ed, and Eddie. Did you guys ever see the? There's a guy on YouTube named Meat Canyon. He does all sorts of like
Yeah.
horror
Oh, yeah,
animation.
yeah. Yep.
Did you ever watch
Meat
the Ed,
Canyon.
Ed and Eddie? The
Yeah.
2 episodes?
Hmm.
Dude. I was like, this is great. Creepy as hell,
thought
man.
he's got a ton of great animations. I always thought his Bugs Bunny one was hilarious.
Dude, his Bugs Bunny
Yeah.
one's hilarious. His Mr. Beast one.
Oh,
Dude, his Mr. Beast
Oh,
one's
that
awesome.
was a good yeah. Today
I
you
think
cure
the,
this guy's cancer.
I kind of
think
like
it's-
the Willy Wonka one. It was creepy
Oh,
as hell.
that one's good too.
Oh yeah.
No,
I love
what's
the-
good about the? Go ahead, Michael.
Yeah, I love the Bob the Builder one. I thought that one was pretty fucking creepy. Just, I don't know. It was great.
What's good about the Bugs Bunny one is he made like a follow up because he got like that video like demonetized by like Warner Brothers or something. So even though he never called it like Bugs Bunny or like gave it that terminology, he made a follow up video where he was like, "Yeah, I gotta put this video to rest because Warner Brothers said canonically this is Bugs Bunny. This is the Bugs Bunny they see as Bugs Bunny. So in the lore now he's this monster. So Warner Brothers accepted that, and I was like, "This is probably the perfect response you could have given."
Yeah. Dude, he's such a good animator. He's stepping away for a little bit, I guess.
Yeah,
Just
Yeah.
watch one of his videos.
A lot of these YouTubers put out like really good content like consistently for years, and then it's just gonna burn them out. So I'd rather just have them take a break and then make something that's equally as good. Michael, do you know anything
Well,
about YouTube content creation?
Well, yeah, because I have a YouTube channel, I have a video out. But what I was gonna
Oh, what
add
is
to
it?
what you said,
Yeah,
What
what's
is
your YouTube
it?
channel?
it's called Large Michael at Large Michael. Watch a hour-long documentary about the making of the original Tomb Raider. It's got 200K views. Go ahead, check it out.
Did you say that's youtube.com/large Michael?
YouTube.com/ at
You
Large
guys
Michael.
are fucking naturals. This is great.
Yeah. So anyway, as I was going to say, a lot of these guys are stepping away because of they're stepping away from the content that they don't want to make and refocusing their efforts because they already have the audience and the money that they want into the stuff that they actually want to make, because the grind of putting out content on YouTube is abysmal, because you have to basically just keep up with whatever's current, whatever's popular to catch the algorithm, and like you can imagine it sucks away all of the joy of doing what you do, and I'm very sympathetic to it. As someone who has, it took me like a fucking year and a half to make the one video that I do have out, and a lot of effort and shit like that. I can only imagine having to put out shit every week that's like highly edited or even an animation. That's crazy, especially.
That's like it's like Mark Rober. Mark Rober does a good
Right.
job of keeping finding something good, and like he only puts out 4 videos a year, and they're all like interesting things. The only problem is Mark Rober's so fucking cringe. It's like painful to watch his videos. Like he puts out some really interesting stuff, but my fucking god, if I have to sit through another Mark Rober video, I think I'm gonna lose my marbles.
Yeah, that's the unfortunate thing. Is that, like, because he's also like family friendly, and it's like I'm sure there's ways to do family friendly that is not like cringe and unwatchable. But like he's like a super nice guy, so that's probably just naturally how he is. But because he's also trying to put off that YouTube friendly, please don't demonetize me, I only make 4 videos a year type of vibe, it sometimes can come off as inauthentic. But I'm sure he's a nice guy in real life.
Yeah, I don't know. All of his laughter sounds so forced. He like screams. He's like a child, but like he's an
Well,
adult.
YouTube is for children. You gotta get
Well-
those children hooked on your videos.
Yeah, apparently. YouTube is the new parents. Like when we were kids, it was like our parents that raised us. Nowadays, it's YouTube that raises kids.
Yeah,
So
exactly.
They gotta have family-friendly role models.
I was
True.
raised on videos like Vomit Cake and other great examples.
There is a guy on Twitch who I want to say he has no subscribers, but like like a really high amount of followers because he's just a dad. Like he goes on streams and he'll like talk about life lessons and like how to tie a tie and like
Oh, I've seen this actually. Yeah.
and like he's like, hey guys, you know, I'm not here for the money. I'm just here to do my part and give back to my community. So if you like my stuff, give me a follow.
Yeah.
And he never asks for subscribers. He doesn't I want to say he doesn't even ask for or accept subscribers. But I think that might be wrong.
So you're saying I can finally have a dad?
Exactly.
Finally tie a tie, Michael.
Oh, thank goodness.
I think that the YouTuber you're talking about is his channel's called like Dad How Do I, and then he titles his video Tie a Tie or something like that.
Yeah, he's a streamer too, no?
Well, I haven't seen him streaming. That's pretty cool.
It might be a different guy. It might be two different guys that I'm talking about.
Speaking of father-like figure streamers, you guys see this old man that's been playing this grandpa that's been playing Battlefield and just sniping people?
No.
So apparently he's a veteran of some war. I don't know what war it was, whether it was Vietnam or whatever. But he's like streaming on like Twitch, he's streaming on like TikTok or whatever. And he's like using sniper rifles and like telling people like how he like ranges out, how far enemies are, and he's just plugging people. Like headshots, like it's wild.
Damn.
And he's like 70-something years old.
I've heard that this is like a thing, because I have a buddy who used to be in the army, and he always tells me that he plays like those shooting games, and they always like just strategize together with his military buddies and come up with like crazy like battle plans and end up sweeping games.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, if the strategy like is applicable to the game, fucking why not?
I honestly think more just like, I mean, maybe the strategy is applicable, but I think those types of people just have good like communication and team building skills. So team games like that are just easier for them to play because they get the communication across.
And like judgment of certain situations. So for war games, people who have experienced war and like spoke or talk strategy and stuff, I'm sure it comes naturally to think like, okay, we're gonna do a pincer attack because of the shape of this map.
Yeah.
And then other guys are just like, or the other team's just like, yeah, we're gonna run in and kill them.
Well, yeah, when the other team is 10 years old, it's not that hard, I would assume.
They're like, we're dropping in on Tomato Town. Let's go.
Bro, we always drop in on Tricky Towers. You know that.
Tricky Towers.
Absolutely. Tricky Towers,
baby.
Tricky Towers. Tricky Towers all night.
Yes, sir, yes, sir, yes, sir.
Tricky North Tower.
Vinny, how do I play fighting games? I want to beat the shit out of
fighting
anime.
games? Well, first you have to install them.
I have Melty Blood installed. You know I
you
like
have
anime
Melty
games
Blood.
with VTubers.
Which Melty Blood?
Vinny, what buttons do I press? What buttons do I press? How
All
do
of
I
them.
get good?
Type
Good game, Joey.
Give me a
I
list,
was
give me a
quiet because I was playing Joey in a first to 3.
Yeah, I see.
Who, Joey Wolf?
Yeah. You mean
Vinny, give me a list of what buttons I should
in rank?
press in order
Yeah,
of
because
importance.
the character I want to play sadly isn't as good in this game as she was in the last game. It's actually a lot harder this time around.
How do I actually get good at fighting games, Vinny? And I swear to God, if you tell me to practice, I'm gonna like
you
your
put
style
about
better.
100 hours into the game, go to the local, get top 8, walk away with $20, and live your life.
I knew he
You
was gonna say that.
find a game that you enjoy playing, whether you win or lose, and that is the gist of it.
All right, boys. It looks like I'm never getting into fighting games because I don't enjoy video games.
Michael, this sounds like the cheese videos for Souls games.
Yeah, how do I buy enough souls to be good?
Michael and I often discuss the Souls games. Like, you look up a boss cheese, and they're like, "Here's a tutorial on an easy way to beat this boss." And step 1 is always, the boss is weak to damage.
Yeah.
So you're gonna want to hit the boss.
Yeah.
Step 2 is you're weak to damage, so don't get hit by the boss. And then step 3 is combine those two things and beat the boss.
Bro, those are the
And it's-
worst types of videos. That's why I loved Sekiro Guru, because he was always just like, listen, I know some of you guys in the comments are like, oh, just parry, get good, it's Sekiro, you should just be good at the game. And he was just like, well, I wouldn't be making this guide if people didn't need more help than that, so shut the fuck up.
Yeah, dude, Sekiro Guru was day one, like, where to go to cheese bosses in Elden Ring.
Bro, he's built different. He's still helping people cheese boss. He's got a couple Lord of the Fallen videos.
Dude, yeah, I went back to fight Moog, like, semi-recently, and I looked up a Moog cheese, because I was like, I know the day one cheese doesn't work anymore, where you jump into the arena. So I looked it up, and, like, he taught me how to do it, where you gotta fucking, like, go parkour around the map to, like, where the texture is not there, fall through and, like, keep swinging your sword in the air, and, like, then eventually the platform Moog stands on will go away, and then he falls to his death. And
Sometimes you just need like somebody to hold your hand and be like, "This is how you cheese a boss," because you need the game to be a little bit easier so you can actually learn it. Like I lived on his channel when I was playing Sekiro, and eventually I just didn't need his channel anymore because I was like, "Well, he's made it so accessible for me to actually beat these bosses. I actually learned how to play the game."
right,
It's a good tutorial.
Yeah. Well, yeah. In a game that doesn't have a tutorial, you need somebody to explain. You need Big Bro to explain it for you.
You need a big brother.
Sekiro Guru is great because not only does he tell you how to cheese a boss, but he tells you those little tricks that, like, make you better at the game
Yeah.
that you
yeah.
wouldn't know just from some guy being like, "Oh yeah, this is how you dodge." Like, he's like, "What you're gonna wanna do here is stick to his right hip."
And what we will do.
Did you guys end up beating Sekiro?
I have the platinum. Yeah. I actually went back and because I am Big Bro, beat the game for Adam. So he has the trophy for completing the game, but he just did not get it himself.
And that final boss was I was stuck on it for like 2 weeks.
That is like the one boss that is like very difficult to actually cheese, but there is a way to get around it. You just have to have like a bunch of like upgrades and abilities. He's so hard to parry too. So like I was getting good at parrying, and I was like, I can't do it on this guy. He's got a gun, dude. What am I supposed to do about that? Give up?
Yeah. But I will say, when I finally did beat him, fucking felt great. It was
Yeah.
awesome.
Oh yeah. I'm trying to remember. I think he is one of the. I think he's the only boss in the game that has like 3 phases.
Yeah,
It's
I think
always
so.
like, for me, the best part of Souls games is finally getting to beat that boss that's been whipping your ass for so long. The fucking adrenaline rush afterwards is so great. I've been like on a boss. There was one in Dark Souls 3, I forget which one, but I was like fucking hooked to the screen because I was just like eking out every inch. And when I finally beat it, I think fucking jumped out of my chair and started doing jumping jacks and shit and running around.
Which one was this, Michael?
It was Dark Souls 3, I forget which boss exactly. It
Dark
was the one I
Souls
had to-
3.
Yeah, it was
You,
Dark Souls 3.
you felt that
Nameless
way
Games?
about Dark Souls 3 and you didn't even do the DLC.
Yeah. How did
No.
you beat? How did you beat Slave Knight Gale?
With my eyes closed.
Yeah. How'd you beat
That
Dark
was the
Eater
Father
Junior?
Ariandel fight, Michael.
Yeah.
Oh, that's pretty good. That's pretty easy. No big deal.
What did you think of Sister Freed's second phase, Michael?
Nothing.
He didn't think.
I didn't think.
You just
I never
played
think.
like
I
an
just
expert.
played. Exactly.
Didn't
Have you
need
seen
the
them? Have you guys seen the memes where it's just the Father Ariandel scream from the cutscene? Where it's like when you nut and she keeps sucking and then it's Father Ariandel going.
Those are hilarious.
Of course, you'd bring.
Vinny, are
that
you still
one up.
playing?
No, we're done. We're actually, we're 20 minutes over, but it's fine.
Vinny's having a
Yeah,
good
it was-
time. Vinny, is this Grand Blue, the new Grand Blue game?
Yeah.
20
This
minutes
is like-
over what?
So usually the show goes for an hour, but sometimes we kind of just keep rambling.
Yeah, if the vibe's good, people are chatting, we just let it
I
rock.
think there was one where we
Vinny.
went for like over 2 hours,
My
and then
vibe's
we
pretty
realized
good.
what time it was, and we're like, oh shit.
You ever
Vinny,
have
what
a 12
time?
hour stream?
What time does your clock say, Vinny?
My clock says it is 10:13.
Yeah, so 20 minutes over or 13 minutes over?
Ooh.
Technically 20 because I
Yeah.
started the stream early.
Yeah. hmm
Doesn't sound like my
Okay.
fault.
Stream
Yeah.
clock is at 1 hour and 20 minutes.
Interesting.
Interesting. Yes.
It was very interesting.
I'll give you interesting. You didn't even talk about Game of the Year edition, you fuck.
Oh.
Yeah, okay, all right. I will give an honorable mention. So
Right.
Yeah, just straight.
I worked hard on that.
I really enjoyed Elden Ring, and after I platinumed it, every day we came into the shop, I said to Vinny, "All right, Vinny, sell me Elden Ring Game of the Year edition." And obviously, it never came out. So, like over the course of I don't know months of me asking for Elden Ring Game of the Year edition, I asked for a few other things. Like I wanted Vinny to sell me the King Kong HD DVD from here because it comes with the HD DVD player for the Xbox 360. One of the most useless like
Oh my goodness!
accessories
I remember
in the world.
that.
Shout out to HD DVDs.
Like the HD DVDs can't be used in any system other than the HD DVD player.
Yep.
And it's not popular. There's only like a select amount of movies that are made for that, and because like it was far overshadowed by A, regular DVDs, and B, Blu-rays. So the HD DVD player is a complete fucking joke. And so every day I would be in there, I'd be like, all right, Vinny, either sell me the Game of the Year edition of Elden Ring, or I'd make him deals like, if you give me, or if you let me buy the Game of the Year edition of Elden Ring, then I will take the HD DVD player off of your hands for free.
That was a
And
deal. Yeah.
so like, finally, I come in one day, and I'm like, Vinny, I want the Elden Ring Game of the Year edition. And he presents me with a custom Elden Ring Game of the Year edition that he made himself with a printed cover with all of the memes of all the wacky things I've asked for. With the disc inside being the HD DVD version of King Kong.
Incredible.
That was the
That's
icing on the
incredible
cake.
customer service.
Yeah.
I'm still waiting for my
Absolutely.
Stray Game of the Year
Yeah,
edition.
well, Alex
with,
needs to send me a picture of your face so I can finish the damn thing.
Oh, I can do that. He has to show up to stream and to your store though.
You gotta
Both of those
you
things
gotta get a
happen.
picture of him with one of those like just faces where he's like looking up into the sky, like has his hand on his chin, like thinking. So I can put it on the cat's body.
All right, I'll get it to you by the end of the week, and
Please,
I will
please
send it to
do,
you.
please do. That one might include
Yeah,
two VTubers. You don't know.
Please, if you included a
I'm
keychain,
really
that would be
hoping-
$20,000.
I'm really hoping that my Stray Game of the Year edition comes with a free Switch and Splatoon 3.
That doesn't
And a
fit in
copy
the.
of
It won't
Splatoon
fit
3,
in the
yeah.
case, so nah.
Get a bigger case, did he?
Nah.
Yeah, that's my new thing for anybody
What
who
would
isn't
you
at the
do
shop
if
while I
I
ask
gave
for it.
you a broken Switch?
I'd fix it.
Yeah, we could fix that easy.
Yeah.
Hey,
As
I mean,
long as it
depending
came
on, I
with a
guess, what's
copy of
wrong with it.
Splatoon 3, of course.
Yeah, as long as it comes to Splatoon 3. That one has
You're
to
never.
work.
You won't even play it. This man hates Nintendo.
He
No,
does,
I
but
really won't play it.
Exactly.
You know why? I'm serious.
Doesn't-
Listen,
you're not wrong.
do you know why?
Why?
Because Nintendo's online is
Splatoon-
garbage.
No, because
Yes.
there is a Splatoon coming out for PS5.
Yeah, it's called
Oh,
Foam
yes!
Stars.
Foam Stars, bro! And it's gonna be
Foam
free for
Stars.
PS
Are
Plus.
you guys
trying to
actually
get
gonna
on
play
this?
it?
I have
Fuck
been,
no.
Vinny. This is literally VTuber Bathwater, the video game. Of
I
course
will,
I'm gonna play it. What do you mean?
He's gonna get himself a fucking
I've
IG
been
drip.
foaming at
this
the
shit.
I got
mouth
I
for
got
this
to
game.
play the closed beta and the beta. I had a lot of fun with that game.
Apparently, it's not just like a Splatoon game. Like you
No,
throw
there's-
you down your bathwater to surf on it, but you win by getting like kills or transporting a payload or something like
Yeah,
Overwatch.
there's a bunch of different ones.
Yeah.
But I
And
had
it's
fun with it.
free. It's free for people with PS Plus, so Adamaki will be playing.
Hope so.
Maybe.
And we can play it together.
Please,
Oh,
we'll play
The
it.
first game I
Yeah.
actually get to play with you guys.
We'll play it just long enough for Adam to say he hates it, and then we will delete
Yeah.
it.
One
make
sure
minute
before I
into the
have-
first game, this is trash. I'm gonna go play Elden Ring some more.
Vinny, why did you sell me this terrible game?
Yeah, I know. Why'd you? It was free. What do you mean? Vinny, it's all your fault.
Vinny, I'm gonna need a Switch with a copy of Splatoon 3.
I feel like I cut him some pretty good deals usually.
Yeah,
I feel like he does
usually
too. I don't know. He's losing money by not giving you some of these deals.
Absolutely.
No.
No, you guys are gonna trick
Like,
me.
I'm like, Vinny, I'll buy all your shovelware if you give me a free Switch and Splatoon
Oh
3.
Jesus Christ! If you buy all the shovelware, I'll give you a Switch and Splatoon 3. All right.
All
You
right,
haven't
so
sold me any shovelware in a
You
while.
don't even look at it.
he doesn't even come to the
What
store.
What do you mean? I sold you a Stergos.
That
Oh,
was a
that
while
is
ago,
true.
Vinny. That was a long time ago, though.
The game was.
How many
That game
copies
was-
of Drunken Fist do you own, Adam?
Oh my God, that's right. I sold you Drunken Fist.
Yep, I have Drunken Fist.
Vinny, you sold him
Actually-
Drunken Fist for like $50.
Yeah.
Funny enough,
That
Vinny,
was a crime, Vinny. Come on.
It's not my
robbed
fault.
this
You
man.
bought a limited version of a game that I told you could buy for like $10 on PSN.
It was like 5.
You see, they made a
Vinny,
2nd one.
I'm
I
patiently
did
waiting
see that.
for the day that you tell me that the Lies of P disc version has gone up in price, because
Oh,
recently
so here's the kicker.
I was playing.
Remember, I
I
didn't
was playing
sell.
God of War.
I didn't sell you that game.
That's true. Rob
You
sold
did?
us that one.
Oh, Rob did, yeah.
Yeah.
But you guys said that the price was going to go up on the disc copy, so I bought it. But here's the thing. So I have it,
Oh, yeah.
and I was playing God of War Ragnarok, but I brought my PS5 to my girlfriend's place, and so I was like, all right, I'm getting a little sick of God of War. I'm gonna switch over to Lies of P, and realized that I didn't have the disc.
Why would you?
So I'm like, well, fuck, I'm not gonna drive all the way home to
You
get the
fucking
disc.
bought it again, didn't you?
Yes, I did. I bought the
Classic.
digital deluxe version, and so now I have Lies of P digital deluxe, and I also have Lies of P on disc.
What is the digital
So the
deluxe come with?
second-
Is it like
This
art
man
and
comes with-
music?
It comes with the Vanini outfit,
Oh, okay.
and like, I don't know, I don't think anything else.
Comes with
Maybe
a slap on the mouth.
maybe an art book,
Yeah, that sounds about right.
an art
Comes
book
with
that
a-
I don't have access to on my PS5. I don't know. Like they used to make it real easy, like on PS3, to download those art books, but like now I have no idea how to do it.
Yeah, for like when I bought, I think it was Persona 5 Strikers, it came with like a digital art book, and you download it, and it's like a separate app, like it's its own
Yeah.
game, and you open it and you flip through it. It's kind of weird.
I don't know how to do it.
Yeah.
Figure it out.
Yeah, how do you throw something digital in the trash?
Exactly.
First you have to
Exactly.
uninstall it.
Throw the hard drive in the trash with it on it.
Yeah, throw the hard drive in the trash.
Vinny, the
Download
real
it
question
to
is,
a thumb
when
drive.
are you getting the Switch 2 in stock?
That's for me to know, and you find out at a later date.
Do you actually know?
No, I don't know. I fucking wish.
Vinny's about to get in trouble leaking all this.
I wish I had information like that to withhold from society. Are you kidding me?
Vinny,
I
you
would
gotta
love
mail
that so
a Switch 2 to my house. I'll
I-
Venmo you.
If we even thought that you had any knowledge about the Switch 2, we would literally come into that store in black ski mask and hold you ransom until you told us when the release date
Vinny,
was.
if I thought you knew about the Switch 2, I'd break into your house. I'd be waiting for you.
Yeah, I can imagine getting home and you're sitting on my couch like, so, where's the Switch 2?
When
I
did
would
you
take it out
It'd be like
coming out?
Liam Neeson.
And I'll just look at you
I know
and
you
be
have
like,
information about Switch 2.
how the
Vinny,
fuck?
I'm gonna need the Switch 2 with a copy of Splatoon 4.
I'd be tapping on your window while you're trying to sleep.
Have you guys
Get me
watched?
sleep.
Have you guys watched the John Wick movies?
No,
No.
I have
heard they're
not.
great
I
though.
need to.
Yeah.
Oh my
Come on,
god!
Jake.
And Becky Bex put me on, and I have watched all the John Wick movies now. So good. Terrible acting, but so good. Like,
Don't they have
I-
Keanu Reeves? Isn't he a good actor?
Yeah. Yep.
Okay.
wait, no, Keanu Reeves is a terrible actor.
Is he really?
Well,
I thought
at
you
least
liked
in the
him.
movies he is.
Okay.
Like,
Well, yeah.
I don't know
they're
what it
action
is,
movies,
but everything they say is like, it just sounds like I don't know. Sounds like he
Get
doesn't know his
over.
lines. They're like, you pissed off, John Wick? And they're like, are you pissed off? And he's like, yeah, I think I'm pretty pissed off.
Real pissed off.
It's like, oh, all right, he's pissed off. And they're like,
I don't know. I heard the real draw to those movies is the action, though.
yeah, oh yeah.
Yeah. Michael's a big.
Yeah, I like to think
movie
I'm pretty
buff.
pissed off.
I like movies. I haven't seen John Wick though.
Really, that's kind of surprising. I mean, I haven't
Yeah.
either, but
I used to just fucking watch a whole bunch of movies all at once. It's been a while since I've done that. I need to catch up on some stuff I haven't seen.
Netflix has the first 3 John Wick movies all on Netflix.
how many are
You
there?
know who else
4,
has the
5?
first
There
two
are
John Wick
4.
movies?
Who? The Pirate Bay?
Yeah, the Pirate Bay.
But we would never use Pirate Bay, but I'm sure they
We would
do have
never.
it on
I'm
there.
just saying
Yeah.
it's on there. Okay.
Vinny
use
sounds
Pirate
like
Bay.
the type of person to use Pirate Bay.
I don't
Yeah, we
condone
hear-
it,
Vinny is a
And the
Pirate
Silk
Bay.
Road.
but the Ubisoft executive's an idiot, so, you know, take that as a grain of salt of my opinion about Pirate Bay.
As a disclaimer, we here at Gumdolph Entertainment do not support the pirating of movies, and any opinions and viewpoints that are expressed here on the Community Roundtable are those of those guests and are not supported by the Gumdolph Entertainment.
Yeah,
I do
he
not
spends his hard-earned money on
I do not.
features.
I do not
Vinny
support
supports the Silk
piracy of
Road.
movies unless I don't feel like paying for it.
I don't watch movies, so it's not my problem.
I love movies. Big movie guy.
Movies. What's your favorite movie?
Favorite movie?
Please,
well,
yeah.
I do love the Rocky series, but I will say, you guys ever seen the movie The Rock with Sean Connery and Nicolas Cage?
No.
No.
Dude. It's a movie from the 90s, and it is Nicolas Cage is a like nuclear weapons specialist, just like a nerd kind of guy, and a bunch of like AWOL Marines who are pissed off at the country end up taking a bunch of hostages at Alcatraz. So they have to figure out how to get into Alcatraz, so break into the prison there. And Sean Connery, who's a former like SAS like special agent who was held at Alcatraz and escaped from Alcatraz, gets called in to help them with it. And if they don't stop the Marines from their mutiny here, the Marines are gonna release a nuclear weapon into San Francisco. It's fucking badass.
It makes
So
sense
cool.
that I haven't heard of it. I was born in 2006.
Well, there you go. Take a trip down nostalgia memory lane there and go watch The Rock with Sean Connery and Nicolas Cage. Such a great movie.
Nah, dude, my favorite movie is Inception.
That's a good one.
that's
I
a
love
great one.
Leonardo DiCaprio. He's an amazing actor.
Leo Dio.
I feel like Leo can't do no wrong.
Fact,
He's
never
a
done wrong.
fantastic actor.
That
Leonardo
or Once Upon a
DiCaprio.
Time in Hollywood.
Oh, I haven't seen that one yet.
Yeah, me
Leo
neither.
Dio. What's his name? Who's the other guy?
Brad Pitt.
Brad Pitt.
Yeah,
Directed by Quentin Tarantino. Gee
You'd say
whiz.
that's one of your favorite movies?
Oh yeah.
Better than The Wolf of Wall Street.
Oh, Wolf of Wall Street's great too.
That's I'm gonna have to see this Hollywood movie then if Adam's giving it.
Yeah,
right?
that's gonna be a movie night movie. It's gotta be.
Yeah, that's gonna be your next pick, Michael.
Dude,
I'm also a
that's
big
what
fan of like B horror movies, so like the cheesier the better, in my
Interesting.
opinion.
I like thrillers.
I've never been a big
Yeah.
fan of horror.
I don't
I'm
like
watching a lot of
horror.
thrillers.
I was trying to figure out the other day, whatever happened to comedy movies? When was the last time you guys saw like a big like trailer for like a comedy movie or like even a comedy movie in theaters? I feel like it just doesn't happen anymore.
No, they don't happen in theaters as much, but I do see them, but they're they're put on by different people. Like I know Bill Burr's been putting out comedy movies.
Really?
Yep, and he's got a good one called Old Dads.
Oh, I
Where
haven't watched it yet, but it looks hysterical.
it is good. It's Bill Burr, some dude and some other dude, and both of them are lesser known than Bill Burr, but they're like the owners of a company, and it's like them navigating society while like they're the old dads and everybody else is like PC and like socially accepting and like
Vinny, you would like this movie.
they're trying to figure out how to like I said, navigate society. Well, the things that they do are no longer accepted, like calling people like retards, and like people are like, oh, you should apologize. You should make a public apology, and like the way they discipline their kids and stuff, and like I don't know. Bill Burr's always complaining about how people are driving.
Yeah, I
Right,
saw the
exactly.
one clip where the principal or the teacher or somebody is like trying to shame him in front of his kid or something like that, and he just like goes off on her and ends up dropping like the C-bomb on her or something like that.
Yeah,
And I
he
was
fucking
like,
loses
hell
it.
yeah, this is the funniest thing, man.
Yeah, I thought that one was pretty good because it's comedy based on like nowadays, and
Yeah.
I think that's good.
What's it called again?
Old Dads.
I'll have to check it out.
It's on Netflix, I think.
Be like the first movie
And then
I watch in forever.
another good comedy movie, I would call it comedy, is the fuck. It's not the other guys. It's the it's got
Will Ferrell?
what's his? No, it's
Marky
not
Mark?
Will Ferrell. What?
Marky Mark?
No, it's got the guy from Place Beyond the Pines and Blade Runner.
Harrison Ford?
No, not Harrison Ford. The young guy.
The young guy.
He's a fucking strap. Ryan Gosling.
Oh,
It's got
okay.
Ryan Gosling and that other fat dude.
Jonah Hill?
And they're like private investigators. Oh, fuck. Hold on, I'll look it up. But it's super funny. They're they're private investigators.
I'm a big fan of comedy movie.
You said what?
The Nice Guys?
The Nice Guys, yes.
Okay.
I was gonna say I'm a big fan of comedy movies, but I agree with you. It's been a while since I've seen like a big name comedy movie.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Like come out in theaters or whatever.
It feels like it's all just Adam Sandler straight to Netflix nowadays. Like a lot of the old like big name comedy actors, I feel like are getting old, not making movies anymore. So it's like hard to break into that industry now and make like a blockbuster. Like I feel like cinemas in general are kind of just dying off.
Yeah, I feel like there's just such movies are so homogenous now, and there's so few. The studios are all buying each other out, and they're not making new movies to replace the movies the studios that they're buying out would have made if they hadn't bought them out. And it's all becoming so filtered through kind of like what was going to make the most money, and that's like superhero movies. And if you want like a true comedy and not just an action superhero movie with some quippy, sarcastic jokes in there, you're going to be hard pressed to find anything like that.
That was another thing I thought was funny when I was like in the last couple of times I've been to the movie theater. They're always advertising some re-release of an older movie, which is cool. Like it's cool to see one of those older movies in theaters the way they were intended to be seen, and potentially remastered so they look a little bit better. But I also just kind of think it's funny because like they just have run out of ideas for like actual good movies, so instead they have to just re-release movies they know are actually good.
Yeah.
I will say they are doing this thing where they remaster old movies, like new actors, like updated CGI, and like it makes the movies better because you don't have to watch some fucking grainy bullshit.
That was the thing, is that the movie I saw in 40X was essentially remastered. Originally, it came out in, like, I don't know, early 2000s, so, like, before HD even existed. So, like, it was meant to be, it was originally seen in, like, 480p. But, you know, seeing it in IMAX, they fully remastered it, and I think that's all they did, but it looked like it was just fully refilmed. Like, it was perfect 4K crisp. It looks the best I had ever seen that movie in. Like, completely different experience. So it's definitely worth seeing one of your old movies in theaters if you never got the chance. Like, all the Ghibli films, whenever they bring those back to theaters, absolutely worth seeing in theaters if you've never seen them before. But it would also be nice to have some, decent new movies that aren't superhero movies.
Yeah, that's another thing that you see when you go to the movie theater is you see these re-releases, you see remasters because they're running out of ideas. But then the only other movies that you see are movies that you've never fucking heard of.
Yeah.
They're
Yep.
like
Yeah.
for instance, the Dungeons and Dragons movie. I
Yeah.
didn't hear about that anywhere except for when we went to see movies. Like I was like, "Oh shit, they're coming out with a Dungeons and Dragons movie." I never saw it. I don't know where to find it, but I knew it was in theaters at some point.
Yeah, that was with was it Chris Hemsworth, right? Wasn't he in it? Or
Maybe. There was also a Mortal Kombat movie, which I heard more about, but like I didn't hear it was
Yeah.
coming out.
that was
Yeah.
in theaters, but it was also on HBO Plus or Max or whatever it is now. And it
Yeah.
was a dual release. So I remember watching that on HBO Max. I didn't
You
go
know,
to theaters for it.
there's a Twisted Metal show
Yeah, it's
or
on
movie. I think
it's a show. It's on I think it's on
Peacock.
Prime. Amazon Prime.
Yeah,
Peacock,
It's-
that's what it is.
Yeah.
it's based on Twisted Metal, and I didn't hear anything about it. Like I just saw a clip and I was like, "Oh, this seems interesting. Is that Sweet Tooth?" And I looked in the comments of like the clip I saw, and it was like, "Yeah, this is the show. It's on Peacock." And I'm like, "What? What? When did this
Yeah.
come out?"
It's got Samoa Joe plays he's a wrestler. He plays fucking Sweet Tooth, but he's voiced by Will Arnett.
Wow.
Yeah,
Kind of
that's-
wild.
Samoa Joe.
And then it's
Shout
got the
out.
Falcon from the Marvel movies.
Yeah, it's what the hell's his name? I can't think of it right now. Michael? No, not Michael.
It might be Michael.
Yeah.
Yeah. Crazy stuff.
Yeah, movies are wild. Even like the big ones that they do release. Like I remember when we saw the new Spider-Man movie. Some of the scripting is just really bad. Like I remember that movie was so silly because he was just like he created all of his problems, and then the one person who could have helped him, he like sealed in like the mirror dimension, and he was like,
Yeah.
"Wait a minute, I think all of these decisions were actually my fault." And I was like, "You don't say. We probably could have prevented this entire movie with like a span of like 5 minutes of different decisions."
But then we
Some
wouldn't
of
have got the
plot writing.
multiverse.
Well,
Yeah.
I mean, I
We
guess
need the
it's true.
spectacle. We need the spectacle. We don't need the storytelling. We don't go to
It's
fucking
not about
movies
what
to
makes sense. It's
get
about what sells.
invested and involved with characters and things like that. We go there to see some crazy CGI or whatever. Clap our
We
hands
go
and
there
laugh
to
like
see
we do.
Pizza Time.
Facts.
We go there to see
were-
Pizza Time. He
we were
didn't fucking say
chanting-
Pizza Time in the goddamn movie. I went there to see Tobey Maguire say Pizza Time. He did not say Pizza Time. I'm
you better
upset
believe-
still to this day.
You better believe that when Tobey Maguire walked through that portal, we were chanting "Pizza time,
Pizza
pizza time, pizza time." People
And then
didn't give us
and
what
then
we
when we
wanted.
watched the Mario movie, when Donkey Kong came out, we said Mario,
Mario
movie.
Just in case anyone forgot what movie they came to see.
Yeah, exactly. Just in case.
Yeah, no, when we went to see Mario movie, we're sitting there and the whole title goes up and it says Mario movie. But then 10 minutes in, Donkey Kong comes on screen and this kid across the theater goes, Mario movie.
There were
How
multiple.
I was gonna say,
Go
how
ahead.
wild of a choice though. Seth Rogen is now Donkey Kong.
I did a good job.
Listen, That was the least shocking. Like, it didn't make sense at the time, but him and Jack Black made me believe that they deserved the role. Like, I was not complaining at all
I agree.
by any of it.
Yeah.
100%
Apparently,
agree.
he also fought to have the DK rap put in the movie. So props to him for that.
Yeah.
Even
Lamar-
what's his name as Mario?
What's
Fucking
his name? Chris. Is it
Chris
Chris?
Pratt.
Yeah,
Chris Pratt.
Yeah.
Chris Pratt as Mario wasn't bad.
I didn't
I
hate
couldn't
it.
have pictured it.
I was actually very sold on Charlie Day as Luigi. Like, he did a pretty good job with
Yeah.
that.
Oh yeah.
The only one I wasn't like blown away by was Peach's voice actress.
Thank
she just
you.
sounded like a woman.
You're
and
not
I mean,
the
that-
only one.
Listen, I guess all she had to do was sound like a woman, and she did it. It
She
worked.
did
that
not
was the girl
sound like
from,
Peach at all.
No,
That was the girl from what the hell's it was the Queen's Gambit. It's like a chess show on
See,
Netflix, and
that's
she
what
was
everyone
in.
always tells me she's from Queen's Gambit, but I've never heard of that show.
She
I
also,
heard of it, but I didn't watch it.
I don't know if you guys ever saw the movie The Menu. It was like a horror thriller movie about a psychotic cook. She was also in that movie.
I can picture the chick. It's the same chick from the new Game of Thrones thing.
I think
Right?
that's where I know her from.
From the
I
new.
know she's like a skinny blonde woman. I don't remember
Yeah.
her name, but I know what she looks like.
I think it's also is it also the chick from Witcher?
I don't think so.
Yeah, I don't think it is.
No, I feel like I would have known her if she was from The Witcher.
It's not his daughter.
No, I don't think she plays Siri. We can look it up.
Yeah, I don't. It might be. It might just be another skinny blonde chick.
I mean, that would make sense. And
No,
Anya Taylor-Joy. Anya Taylor-Joy is her name. Let's see what she's played. There's filmography. I don't know any of these things. Yeah, The Menu, Mario Bros. Movie. She was not in... Doesn't look like she was in The Witcher.
But
she was
she
in
wasn't.
Peaky Blinders, though, which is kind of surprising.
That checks out. I think I remember her.
She
Yeah,
looks like
she
she
was,
was in Peaky Blinders.
She was. Yep, she was the bastard child's wife.
Yeah.
She was.
All of these other things I don't recognize.
Yeah. She was Polly's son's wife.
I also thought, what was his name? Keegan-Michael Key. I thought he was going to be abysmal as Toad. Didn't mind him. He sounded like Toad. That was pretty good,
Yeah.
actually.
Honestly, I thought the Mario movie was pretty great.
It was
Considering
way
what I
better
would
than I
initially
thought it was
think
going to be. Yeah.
Yeah, it was better than I thought it was going to be.
I think
I wasn't expecting much, but the voice actors that they picked, I was shocked, but they did a good job.
I think
Yes.
above anything else, it was a great advertisement for all of Nintendo's Mario products on the Switch.
Absolutely. They have a whole bunch.
Yeah. Like, all conveniently things. Like, hey, you guys like Rainbow Road? You know you can buy that game, right? You guys like the cat suit?
Yeah.
There's a game for that.
You're like,
Yeah,
look
yeah,
at this
you guys-
vacuum Luigi's got.
Do you guys remember Mario?
Mario movie.
Mario movie.
I remember that more than the actual plot of the movie. That's like the silliest thing when you think about it, is like, oh, we gotta get back to the Mushroom Kingdom. How are we gonna get there? Oh, I guess we'll just take Rainbow Road. Like, what? Couldn't you just walk like the same way you got here?
Yeah, just backwards.
Oh,
Yeah.
Rainbow
Why didn't you
Road
take
is
Rainbow Road the
clearly-
first time?
Yeah, where does Rainbow Road come from?
Also true. Where was Gino?
You know what I also found out recently, speaking of Mario, though?
What?
I was scrolling through TikTok, and somebody made the revelation that apparently in Mario 64, you are watching through the eyes of Bowser.
Oh.
Because you know how you have that little guy filming you as you're going
Yeah.
around?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And every time you die, you hear Bowser laugh, and it goes into like the Bowser like shadow and all that. Apparently, it's supposed to be just like Bowser like sitting on his couch watching Mario as you play, and that's why he laughs every time Mario dies. And now that game came out when I was probably 6 or 7 years old. And I've played that game multiple times. Never once thought about that. But now, well into my 30s, I scroll through on TikTok and hear about this. And I'm like, guess you never know.
It was negative one when that game came out. That's crazy.
I was strong opinions on Mario 64. I'm not a big fan of Mario 64.
I love Mario
No?
64. I love Mario 64. I enjoyed it better than my attempts to play fucking Sunshine. That's for sure. I played it as a kid. Had it on the N64. My brother and I played the crap out of it, and then when they put it on that collection on Switch, I 100%ed it immediately. I still enjoyed myself.
Michael, I want to think this is a good opinion, but you still haven't platinumed Elden Ring.
Well, yeah.
You know,
You're gonna have to pull up the D20.
It always
You're
comes
gonna have to
back.
get a D20 email for Piper.
it all
That
comes
was
back
dropped
to
at the
Elden
beginning of the
Ring,
show
Elden
tonight,
Ring, Elden
and
Ring.
here we are, hour and a half in.
Listen, sometimes he has, tough opinions that you just gotta roll the D20 for. What are your thoughts on Ocarina of Time? The worst Zelda game.
Ocarina of Time is it's okay. It's a decent game.
Roll a
Okay.
D20.
Well, yeah, roll the D20 because
Not
I
my
want you
favorite
to say it's
Zelda.
bad.
I don't
we
have
explained?
a D20. I don't have a D20.
Listen,
Have we
my
explained the
main
joke?
Yeah, I explained it before you got
Yeah,
here.
we explained the
Okay.
joke. Yeah.
My main concept with that is just like if you give somebody today like that type of game, like a kid, like when we were kids, would you like it? Like if I had Ocarina of Time when I was 10 years old, I'd probably love it. It's a pretty cool game. But if you gave that to me today and I had to choose between that and Breath of the Wild, I'm probably going to choose Breath of the Wild. But the difference is, if you give me Super Nintendo Link to the Past, I would still probably play Link to the Past because it's a different type of Zelda game. It gives a different experience. It still kind of holds up for what it is. Ocarina of Time for a 3D Zelda game, there's just something better. So yeah, it's still playable. You can still enjoy it. But if I had to choose a 3D Zelda game, it's probably not going to be Ocarina of Time.
I think the biggest problem with appreciating Ocarina of Time in retrospect is that almost every single 3D Zelda game that's come out since it that isn't Breath of the Wild or Tears of the Kingdom has almost been a perfect blueprint recreation of its sort of baseline. So if you've played any of those games or experienced any similar games like to it, it's probably going to, feel like been there, done that with Ocarina.
I think that kind of extends to why I'm not a big fan of Mario 64 because like it has a lot of the similar problems where like it was probably great for the N64, but each progressive 3D Mario has just done a better job of making the game feel tighter, control better, and give you more quality of lights improvements. Like Sunshine's not super amazing either, but it's a little bit better than 64. And then we get to games like the Galaxy games, which were the first like really good, really unique 3D Marios. And then we keep progressing until we get to Odyssey, and it's just like Odyssey's not story-wise or visually like maybe the most exciting or interesting Mario game, but it plays probably some of the best in the series, which is why people love it so much. Mechanically, they just evolved that formula. The next Mario game will be even better because they just keep doing a better job of that. One of my favorites is 3D World because I think it does such a great job of blending 2D and 3D Mario, and it feels like a true appreciation of the series where they didn't let any of their previous ideas go to waste without making them feel overused. I think 3D World is probably the best in the Mario series, in my opinion.
I have not played 3D World. I will say
I highly recommend it.
I loved Galaxy when it first came out on the Wii. I played the hell out of that game. And I appreciate for what it did. But so 3D World, give it a shot. What's it on?
It's on Switch and it's on Wii U if you still like the Wii U, I guess.
Okay.
The woo?
Did you say before we cut you off and talked about our opinions on Ocarina of Time, you said it was your favorite, right?
No. It's not my favorite.
It's not your favorite. Okay, I was going
My
to say
favorite-
D20.
My favorite
Right,
is
no.
Majora's Mask. I love Majora's Mask.
Yeah, Majora's Mask is good. Yeah, okay. So that's a very good opinion because like as much as I don't like Ocarina of Time, I think Majora's Mask is so unique and different from the other games that one is still exciting and interesting to play today because nothing else has tried to copy that type of idea.
Yeah, I mean they used a lot of assets from Ocarina of Time because I think it literally released a year later.
Yep.
But I just everything about Majora's Mask, the masks themselves, transforming, all the different abilities, all that. But the fact that no matter what you do in that 3-day period, right, you can't save everyone was always a really interesting concept to me, right? You mean you could like play through and you know do certain storylines and some of the storylines actually lasted the full 3 days, you know, up until the final minutes of you know the moon coming down and destroying the world. You know, but the fact is like you could save the world, quote unquote, but you couldn't save everybody, meaning somebody would be disappointed or the storyline wouldn't get fully completed or you know something would happen. But and then like you listen to like all the different like theories about like what the world of Termina actually is, you know, and that the fact that like the interesting one was like Link's actually dead throughout the entire game because he falls down the hole or whatever. It's just like for a game that I played when I was probably 7, 8 years old or whatever, not thinking about like how big it could be, and then like you hear about all these different theories, you're like, wow, if that's what the developers were going for or whatever, man, that is some wild stuff for sure.
Yeah. That's the thing is that like Ocarina of Time, you know, for as much shit as I give it, was impressive because it was the first, you know, game in the Zelda series to become 3D. That's not easy to do, and the fact that they did it so that it was, you know, pretty playable at the time is impressive. Majora's Mask, and this is going to be a strong opinion, so try not to cancel me.
Better
But-
roll that D20.
Majora's Mask was essentially the Baldur's Gate of its time period, with how things you do, choices you make on the first day, will carry through to later in the game, things you do later on with characters' storylines, and narratively the world of Termina, the characters, the quests, what's going on, what Link's actually trying to do, is more interesting and is a different tone from a lot of the other Zelda games, to the point where, like, yeah, if you liked the mechanics of Ocarina of Time, you still had the basis of a good game there, but now you actually had a story that wasn't just the simple, you know, save the princess, beat the giant pig man. You had something that was interesting. You were drawn into this world, and you had some dark undertones. Skull Kid is probably the most interesting and compelling of all of the Zelda villains, because he's not just bad. He's, you know, had kind of a rough backstory, and he turns to Majora's Mask for his own various reasons, and it's just like, as a kid, you're like, huh, he doesn't really seem like he's evil, he just, like, made some mistakes.
I think the other thing is, too, is, like, that was one of the first games where I remember asking my mom to, like, go out and find me a strategy guide, and she came home with, like, a Prima strategy guide so I could, like, learn more about the game or whatever, but, like, actually going through and collecting all the masks and having that reward at the end where you turn all the masks in and then you get the Fierce Deities mask, and that makes the final boss like 100 times easier than if you didn't have it. And it's also like the first time like Link becomes like adult Link kind of deal. He's you know what I mean? It's just it was just a super cool game, and that's why it's my favorite. You know what I mean? Because I've had so many memories playing that game, and just how dark the story is too. I'm like, yeah, this is badass.
Yeah,
Hey boys, I gotta go.
Okay.
I gotta go. I got a busy day tomorrow.
All right, Adam. Thanks for coming on.
Why
man.
don't we?
Yeah, I didn't come out, Vinny. I've just been sitting in bed.
I said coming onto the show.
Oh, I thought you said thanks for coming out. I was like, no, I didn't.
No, everybody's just sitting in their chairs or in their bed. I know.
Are we gonna
I'm
see
in
what's
my
streaming on?
bathtub. I'm in my bathtub.
Good for you.
Like, I don't doubt it.
He's playing
Well, Vin,
Resident
what do you
Evil 4
think?
in his bathtub.
10:52. We've been talking for almost 2 hours here.
Yeah.
Was this the longest stream you've ever had, Vinny? Did we win?
Yeah, did
Like
we look?
in terms of ever or a podcast type deal?
Which one do we win?
How much money are you paying me for winning?
Neither.
I was gonna say it's pretty close, but I don't know if it's the longest community roundtable we've had. But it's definitely been one of the more entertaining ones. You guys have been great.
We're coming for the
Oh, yeah.
title at some point. I promise you that.
Yeah, we'll be back.
It's about Pykel's bedtime too, so I think we'll all be heading
Yeah.
off. You boys.
What note do we want to end on? What note do we want to end on?
Well, we wanna plug our share, right, Pykel? You got something?
Yeah, all right. I already plugged my YouTube channel, but I'll plug it again. youtube.com/8largemichael. Check me out. Watch my YouTube videos. Pretty great. And then if you want to see us, all of us potentially on stream, we are on the_AMK_stream on Twitch. Check that out. We stream Mondays and Fridays at 7 to 11.
Yeah,
We're
stream
far less
basically whatever we feel like.
PC.
Yeah, we will say something that will get us canceled if you come to stream.
Yeah, absolutely. If anyone actually shows up and watches us, we will guaranteed to be canceled.
We are on
No
our
one's
best
done that yet,
behavior
so.
until someone is watching, I promise.
So, yeah,
That's basically it. Thanks for having us, boys. It was a great time.
Yeah.
Talking to you for a couple hours. We'll see you on Saturday, probably.
No,
Yeah,
you guys have been
I'll be
great. The Saucy boys here have been awesome. You guys have been extremely entertaining. It's been a great time catching up with you guys, and hopefully I can meet you at some point in person.
Yeah, Rick,
at the shop.
show up
Please,
on
Rick, we'd love to see
Saturday
you.
any day from noon to 2. We'll be there
Yeah, that's all right.
on Saturday.
Fair enough.
Possibility.
Ben, any,
we got War of the Wives coming up in February, so that's a possibility.
Yeah.
Please.
What did you say? Penny?
Do I get to take somebody's wife?
No, so
You ain't taking my wife.
so February is the month of love, and we've kind of created a bunch of events for February, including a dating show. But we have this segment called War of the Wives. So I told you guys about the chicken wings and the hot sauces fighting games.
Yeah, the nipple clamps, yeah.
So we're gonna have Rick's wife and our buddy Ryan's wife do it. And
yeah, they're gonna play
Mario
it
Kart.
sounds like it's probably gonna play Mario Kart. And basically every race that they play, the loser of that race, their husband, aka myself or Viking, are gonna have to eat a hotter and hotter piece of chicken. So
That's fun.
When
So,
are you
yeah.
gonna do? When are you gonna do Burio Kart, Benny?
when we get a second channel that doesn't make me any money.
Interesting.
All right,
Do
so
Drunk
you just come to
Souls.
our stream and do it.
Trust me,
Yeah,
Drunk
Drunk
Souls was an idea.
That's a good one.
Drunken Ring.
Who's born? Who's born?
Who's born?
Who's one would be good, yeah.
Boo's born. I
Boo's
love that
born.
idea.
Elden
in.
Drink.
Elden Drink.
Sake
yeah.
Road.
Elden Drink.
But a lot of
What
ideas.
about, you wanna chat about Battle of the Boss yet? Or you wanna
Yeah, let's talk about it really quick,
I forgot
just because
to.
I told everyone we were going to.
Okay.
Go ahead.
You wanna do it or want me to do it?
You can do it. It was your idea.
All right, so we're going to have a stream on the 29th of January. It's a new series or new idea we came up with. We'll see how it goes. It's called Battle the Boss. And what we're going to do is we're going to pick certain fighting games or certain games in general where somebody is pretty proficient in them. And we're going to have people sign up and try and take down the boss, a.k.a. the person that's pretty proficient in it. So for this first one, we're going to be playing Street Fighter 6. And we're going to have Chris D, who is a guy who's placed 4th at a major in fighting game tournaments and who is pretty consistently number 1 or number 2 in the Street Fighter 6 monthlies. He's going to be on for an hour playing in an online lobby exhibition style. And people are going to sign up and they're going to get a number in the rotation. And they're going to have a chance to try and beat the boss, a.k.a. Chris D, in a 1-2 set. He's going to have 1 hour to try and defend himself as we play. If somebody is successful in beating him in a 1-2, they will win a $20 gift card of their choice to either Amazon, Steam, Xbox, PlayStation, whatever. All right, so that is going to be the 29th at 8 p.m. We're going to be in an online lobby in Street Fighter 6. So it should be a good time. We will post at some point, we'll post a flyer for it, and then we will start posting signups as well. So if people are interested and they want to try and beat the boss, aka Chris D, in Street Fighter 6, they could potentially win a $20 gift card because of it. So
As long as you're the
probably
first
going to do that
person
for a
to beat
bunch
him.
of. Yeah, as long as you're the first person to beat him. If after an hour nobody's able to beat him, then hey, that's sorry you tried, and hopefully everybody had fun. But it is free entry, And we'll have a bunch of different other games as well that we're going to do with this. But the first one's going to be Street Fighter 6 on the 29th. I think it's a Monday, right, Ben?
Yeah, Monday night.
Mm-hmm. So it should be a good time. So stay tuned for more details on that.
Oh, Alex, you still here?
Yeah, there.
You've won the title of longest community roundtable.
Let's go!
Hey.
Let's go, boys! We're the best!
You're welcome.
We're the best!
You're welcome.
You're
I-
welcome.
I
This is a switch for
Congratulations.
Splatoon 3.
Get the fuck
I
out of
can't-
here. All right, everybody. Thank you guys for coming on again. This was fun.
Yes,
Yeah,
good job.
They will be back again later, I am sure. But yeah,
I want them all back. I
we're
want
done.
them all back on another round table. Let's do it again.
Maybe we'll play Elden Ring or something. I don't know.
That'd be hilarious.
Can we get another guest as well?
Yeah. Is it Jason?
Nah,
That'd be hilarious.
it's someone of your choosing, Vinny.
Oh, my choosing?
Yeah, like it could be
Yeah.
one of your friends.
It's
It
Jason.
could be interesting.
We want Rob on the podcast. We want to
No,
wrestle
you mean
Rob.
Rob. Rob.
You want Rob?
Yeah.
I can probably get Rob to come.
Shop
Yeah,
Rob.
Yeah.
So, but
We
again,
want Rob. We want Rob.
yeah, people
We
want Rob. All right,
The Saucy Boys love Chin. All right, let's go.
Guys,
Right.
we do love Chin.
alrighty, guys. Thank you again. It was fun. And
Rick, Vinny, thanks for having us.
Yeah,
Of course.
I think we also win longest
having us, yeah.
outro.
do.
Facts.
I mean, we've
we
outroed
will win
twice
longest
technically,
video.
so you've won it
We're
by
trying
far.
to platinum your stream, Vinny. Give us all the
You've got a
trophies.
ways
Yeah.
to go. I've done 12 hours and 24-hour streams. You got a ways to go.
Oh, don't tempt us.
Please,
No.
Vinny, come on.
I have the stop button.
We got a lot to talk about.
Yeah, don't tempt me with
Yeah,
a good time.
save it for maybe next March or April.
Okay.
Okay.
So, alrighty,
Yeah.
alrighty, everybody.
Take us home, Vin. Get us out of here.
Good
soon.
night, and good luck.
Have a good night, everybody. We'll talk to you later.
Bye.
Bye.